Let's do this. We're back. Welcome, everybody, back to another live watch along here on THPN. I'm Kyle, of course, and we know who we're repping tonight in what's a pretty important game tonight for both sides, as the Kings coming off a loss last night to the Edmonton Oilers. They're looking to bounce back. Calgary's won a couple games in a row now, trying to find themselves back into a playoff position. And yet, here we are tonight for what should be an exciting game tonight. So I appreciate everybody kind of coming to hang out. I know it's pretty late on my end, as in very late, as in I decided last minute to do this on my end. And that's okay. We're going to get through this together collectively. So again, it's very close here in the playoff hunt here. The Kings currently sit at 68 points there in the first wildcard spot. The Flames are at 61. Flames do win tonight. They would be 3 points back at the Predators, who have been doing very well as of recent. So a couple of things to note tonight. Markstrom is in the net tonight. No Andrei Kuzmenko. He's still out, missing his second game. He's got some sort of flu he's really coming down with. And on the other side for the Kings, a late game scratch came from Adrian Kempe, I believe, who's not going to be in the lineup tonight. And under new coach Jim Hiller, they're just showing as well, they're 6-3 ever since Jim Hiller took over for the LA Kings. So, and as RJ is so nice to mention, it is Cam Talbot in on the other side with Jacob Markstrom in for the Flames, with, of course, lots of speculation coming in for this team with about 10 odd days out from the deadline, and a lot of things are starting to circulate, especially with this team more specifically. But I'm hyped. It should be a good game tonight. It's important because there's been so many games in the past where you look at it just in terms of the Flames perspective and you think, like, what are they going to do? What are they going to be? Right. And we have no idea. Right. So tonight's going to be a very good test of that. And I think we're going to slowly figure out, what we need to do. Right. So in terms of short term, 10 days from now, guys have to get traded. We'll obviously get into that a little bit. We'll get into a little bit as well, too, with what the Kings might need to do in order to make a little bit of a run. And honestly, I need some help here from guys tonight in the comments section. So if you guys want to chat and, ask some questions here or that, just let me know. And I am all for it tonight, as RJ's saying, 11 days. Thank you. I appreciate that. As Connor, I believe, is checking in tonight. He is. He's got the Kings winning 4-3 tonight. I imagine they're going to come out better tonight, even without Adrian Kempe. They actually played a good. I watched a little bit of the game last night between the Kings and the Oilers, and apparently it was a slow start for both teams, from what I heard. So I caught the middle of it, and just watching it, I think the Kings probably wanted to execute a better offensive game than kind of what they saw yesterday, especially going into the third period, tied up. Didn't really create a lot of scoring chances there in that third period, hence why they're going to try and do better tonight. So I don't blame you. I think the Kings probably do come out firing tonight, but I got to stick with Flames here. I'm thinking because, life likes to ruin me, and, it's going to be late a little on my end. So let's just say it's probably going to go to a shootout. It's going to be like one of those stupid nights. I'll take Calgary. Let's go 3-2 Calgary in a shootout. Why not? I give up half the time on some of these predictions. I doubt even if that score is accurate. Don't know what to make of either team. Join the club. I have no idea. I hear that Kiprusoff night is coming up soon. They're going to be honoring Mika Kiprusoff. I don't know when. I think it's got to be like in a week from now. I'm not sure. Well, I'm glad to see the stadium's packed tonight. It's good to see. But you guys got any predictions or anything else tonight as well, too? Let me know. Just update people else, too, around the league tonight. Busy night in the league. In terms of Canadian teams, you got 6 teams in action. And I believe everybody else, I think, actually is in action tonight, too. Golden Knights currently lead the Leafs 3-1. And that one there, Panthers lead 2-1 over the Sabres. Flyers and Lightning currently tied at 1. And you got the Red Wings, who are all over the Washington Capitals as well. I'll give RJ a chance because I know he likes to put in some of the scores, and I think there's other games as well going around the league. Because even if Calgary are performing below expectations, they still spring a surprise. They surprise me every week, Connor. Every single week. I think your Canucks are actually, if I'm not mistaken, I think they're in tonight. I think they're playing Pittsburgh tonight, because I think Pittsburgh then comes to Calgary Saturday or something like that. I'm sure Dylan will be watching that one rather on his time at 7 o'clock and not my time, 9 o'clock. Why I decided to do this tonight, I couldn't tell you. We're just going with it tonight. What else we got here? Predators currently up 2-1 over the Senators in that one. Need Ottawa in that one. On Monday, what was it? Yesterday, I caught a bit of Ottawa and Washington, and I think the Senators had no. At one point, it was like 5-3 or 6-3, and I think it was 5-3. But anyway, the Capitals had 5 goals on 14 shots. Like, that's pretty alarming. So to have a little bit of faith in Ottawa tonight, we'll see. We'll see how it goes. Jets currently lead the Blues 3-1. That's always good there as well, too, if you're a Flames fan. And the Wild currently lead 2-1 over the Carolina Hurricanes after 1. And yes, Pittsburgh is in Vancouver tonight. So I imagine they'll probably be making their trip over, go to Edmonton, go to Calgary, whatever, and then see you later. But yeah, we got a puck drop's going to be dropping here soon. In terms of tonight, what I want to see, I mean, it's pretty much writing on the wall that Tanev and more than likely Hanifin are going to go. After hearing some rumblings today, I believe that the Dallas Stars are probably going to be the front runners for Chris Tanev. The package that they have, I guess, discussed with the Flames did not include a first-round pick, and I think that's what the Flames are waiting on. If they can wait on getting a first-round pick, and depending the type of return in terms of prospect, as well, then the Flames will probably go at that. But personally, I think the longer that this is going on, the longer that the Flames have really missed their window on trying to get a really good package for specifically for Tanev. I think Hanifin's actually value has increased. He had 2 goals on last Saturday against the Oilers, and I think that his stock has definitely increased. If anything, if we're looking at the trade board, he's probably a number 1, just my guess here. But in terms of Chris Tanev, if he is, I like the trade partners with Dallas, I think Dallas's worry is that, because he's going to be a rental, a guy that is getting older, a guy that might not re-sign with the team, you don't want to give up a significant amount, right? Which is understandable, and they don't want to try to lose that first-round pick if they don't have to. So, for Dallas, it's either going to be you're going to give up a really good prospect, and if you want to do that, okay, then maybe you get rid of a second or a third, and in return, on the other side of it, okay, you give away that first-round pick, and you're not going to get a great mid-tier prospect maybe in return. But we'll see what happens here. As we have puck drop, we are underway here in Calgary for this one. Some notable lineups I noticed for Calgary. I think Dryden Hunt is on the top line with Sharangovich and Huberdeau, which is great. They can never seem to find who they want to put on their first line, and it's fantastic. I love to see it. Let me know how everybody else is doing though tonight. Any big plans this week? Anything at all? I don't have a lot going on specifically tonight, so that's why I kind of decided let's just do this and see what happens. I'll roll through the lineups for you guys here. Excuse me, real quick, as Rick Ball and Kelly Rudy are on the call tonight, with of course Ryan Leslie, who is an absolutely phenomenal man. Love to see it. As Flames are early pressing on here. Again, Kings lineup combinations just to start here. Quinton Byfield up top now with Kopitar and Dubois. Again, no Adrian Kempe tonight. Trevor Moore, Philip Deneau, and Kevin Fiala with Anderson Dolan, Turcotte, and Trevor Lewis making his return to Calgary. Alex Laferriere, Blake Lizotte, and Arthur Kyliev, who is a trade block piece on the fourth line. Movarev and Doughty, Matt Waugh, and Vladislav Gavrikov, England, and Jordan Spence to wrap up the Kings starting lineup. Again, Cam Talbot is in net tonight. And for the Flames, I believe it is not going to be, it's Andrew Mangiapane, Backlund, and Coleman there on the first line with Zari, Nazem Kadri, and Martin Pospisil. Again, Huberdeau, Sharangovich, and Dryden Hunt wrap up that third line there. And on the fourth, you got Pelletier with Kevin Rooney and Walker Duehr. All sorts of pressure for the Flames here in this opening frame. Noah Hanifin there with Chris Tanev. Mackenzie Weegar, Rasmus Anderson, Shillington, and Braden Paschal will wrap up the D core there for the Flames. How do you get through that? Holy smokes. Also, Liam checking in. What's going on, Liam? Nice to have you back. Appreciate it. I watched the Alberta battle, and I won't lie, I'm not much of a fan of either team, but I preferred you over Edmonton because it shows them as cup frauds, and I hate Evander Kane. Such a rat. I actually didn't watch the game. I normally don't I mean, the last little bit, I haven't really watched Calgary play Edmonton. Doesn't matter where because I'm never confident about this team. It just so happened that they played a really good game on Saturday. So, you can feel how you feel, man. It's all good. It's all good. But I mean, okay, I lied. I actually watched a little bit of the third period just because, they're winning and it's like, oh, I got to look and see what happened. But yeah, no, I was super, super happy with the way things went on Saturday. And, I still go back to, the week before where, you lose to a bad team like San Jose, you lose to a bad team, or excuse me, I shouldn't say bad team. You lose 5-0 to the Detroit Red Wings, who came in and just lit you up. And this team really just seems to be showing up against good teams this year, and they aren't showing up against poorly, really bad teams. Ergo the San Jose Sharks, the Blackhawks, blah, 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 list goes on. So, we'll see what they do tonight on the Kings on a back-to-back in a hard-fought game against the Oilers and not having Kempe in. What a save! Does he have it? What a save by Jacob Markstrom. I don't know how he got that. It just went under him. I think it was Byfield who went forehand, backhand on him. And I thought it snuck underneath him, but it didn't go through as Markstrom just falls on top of it. And the Flames save an early opportunity from the LA Kings early on in this one. Goes to check it in. He's got his prediction. He's got 3-1. I appreciate it. Thank you very much. Always good to see other scores going around the league here. Canadiens currently up 3-1 over the Coyotes. And Red Wings currently up now 6-3 over the Capitals. Rick Ball's commentary is pretty good. I actually enjoy Rick Ball's commentary too. I don't hate it. The guy that I really love though is Ryan Leslie. He's like, I've seen like videos of him with the players, and it's just so down to earth. Like, go grab a cup of coffee, go for a walk, do whatever. And it's nice to see. So yeah, he's pretty good in that regard too. Brenda checking in. Brenda, thank you for coming on. When you got two teams playing each other and they're both on a losing streak, who's really winning? Montreal's playing Arizona. Oh my God. Yeah, that's not pretty. Arizona's kind of going the other way. They've lost, I don't know how many games at this point. And Montreal has just been Montreal for the last 2 years, give or take. You don't have to get too deep into it. But no, you got a good point, Brenda. I do not disagree whatsoever. I respect you just don't like him. It's a rival thing. It is a rival thing. It totally is. There's a big storm here. I heard, I don't know where exactly, but I heard there's like a massive storm in the south of the U.S. And I'm guessing from Liam, Pennsylvania, Pittsburgh. I'm just taking a guess here, Pittsburgh Steelers there. I can't say the same. We've got like, in terms of Celsius, we've got like, it was like a summer day today. Like I could have worn shorts. It was that warm today, and it's unheard of for February. So I'm not going to complain. As 5 minutes in so far, both teams have had pretty good opportunities. Flames with probably a little bit more pressure, but the Kings probably had the best chance of the game so far 5 minutes into this one. So Kings trying not to fall back into their old habits a little bit. And the Flames, again, just trying to continue some good motivation here going into what should be a good home stretch for this team. So we'll see what happens here. Nova Scotia has it really rough. Maybe it was that too. I heard south of the U.S., but I think like Nova Scotia and the East Coast always gets really bad weather. Like I'm not surprised. They always get a pretty bad storm. If you guys get a chance for any of us Canadians out there, because I don't know if they sell this in the U.S., but I'm a big sparkling water guy. Okay. Now, I don't know if you've ever had the bubbly, like the bubbly, okay, for us Canadians. I find it doesn't have as much flavor, okay? Whereas if I get something like this, it's a tangerine lime flavor, okay? And it, like, you can actually taste the flavor with it. Like, it's not you're just, like, drinking distilled water and, like, it's, like, got that weird, like, aftertaste. I don't know if I can explain it correctly, but anyway, I vote for these all day long. And they're, like, 99 cents. So with no calories, because I gotta watch my fat ass anyway. It looked like Neon Knee, close to Neon Knee there with Dryden Hunt and Quentin Byfield there. You gotta watch that a little bit. Another piece that did kind of come up in conversation recently from what I heard, Doughty's going off for slashing. Early power play for the Flames here. Another piece that I heard was kind of in the mix in terms of maybe a package with Andrew Mangiapane. He's got one more year on his deal, but it's at a $5 million cap hit, so I'm not sure a lot of teams would be particularly interested in that right now as Huberdeau gets a shot off and taken away by Cam Talbot here. Um, yeah, I'm curious to see, like, I mean, screw it. Why don't we get into it here a little bit? We're 11 days out of the trade deadline, and what do we know? But the every trade board, every trade bait list that you see out there, at least three of the top five players are all Flames players, right? Including Chris Tanev, Noah Hannafin, and Jacob Markstrom. If we touch on Markstrom to start, and this is all just speculation, blah blah blah. Like, I have no sources in all this, but from what I heard was that it was about 95% done, the Jacob Markstrom deal to New Jersey. There was a deal in place, but again, from what I understand is that Marie Edwards came in for ownership and basically said, look, we're not looking to retain Jacob Markstrom, ergo the trade didn't go through. But apparently there was something in place that at least included, of course, it included Markstrom, and it also included Alexander Holtz in that one as well. And now my TV froze. That's fantastic. But it did show me the Flames were 1 for 4 on the power play so far in the last game, in their last game, excuse me. But anyway, yeah, so I think 11 days, do I believe Markstrom is going to get dealt? It feels like that train is kind of come and gone. And it feels like the only suitable partner right now would probably be the New Jersey Devils. That's just my 2 cents. Them going to look at UC Soros, Nashville kind of saying, hey, like, if we're in a playoff spot, we probably don't, we don't want to give up Soros in case they go on a magical run. You never know, right? And, Soros stands on his head for 98% of the time. Flames power play here just coming to an end with 20 seconds to go here. Had a couple of good chances there, good looks, but it looks like Talbot's pretty locked in for tonight. So should be good in that regard. Yeah, so I don't believe that Markstrom's going to get dealt. Unless the Devils become desperate. I don't think it's helped because they haven't been playing well recently and they are pretty far out of the playoff spot. I think they're 8 points now out after losing to the Lightning on Sunday, whatever it may be. I think if they were a little bit closer, if they were maybe 3 points out of a playoff spot, if they were at the last wild card, I think there would be a bit of a different conversation. But I think because of where they're at, and there's certainly no rush. I mean, Calgary can win tonight. You're 3 points out behind Nashville, depending on what they do against Ottawa tonight. And you're still fighting for a spot, right? With still a top tier goaltender in Markstrom. And again, the good thing is that you don't have to trade him now. Like, yes, he may be at a high value, but I imagine that his value is still going to be reasonably high going into the offseason, and his contract only now has 2 years on it, right? So it still looks pretty good. And, you can bank on the fact that maybe he has another good year coming up too, right? So again, there's no necessary rush. I'm just curious to see in a year from now if his value is as high as what it was recently. Switching over to Hannafin, I think it's fantastic that he's doing so well now. He had 2 goals on Saturday against Edmonton, and it appears that his value just skyrocketed, right? I imagine that's probably going to include a first-round pick. All sides are kind of pointing towards Tampa Bay. We've heard about the Lightning. We've heard that's a preferred destination, but management's kind of sitting there going, I don't care. I want to get the best deal out of you. You're going to go where I tell you to go. The problem with that is that if his preferred destination is Tampa Bay, if they decide that they want to sign him to an extension right there and then fantastic. Then we can get a really good package out of this, knowing that he's going to be there for a longer term. Again, we'll see what happens, but I'm glad he's playing really well because then stock goes up, and his value for valuable assets will, have somewhat of a good return, I would imagine. So the one that I think probably will be disappointing for Flames fans is probably going to be Chris Tanev. I think they missed their chance on selling him at a really good value. I think teams are starting to realize that, we don't need to give away a first-round pick for Chris Tanev. If we give away a second and a mid-tier prospect, we might be able to get away with this. So, they're not looking to retain either. It makes sense. But, to lose Tanev for you know, for us, what would probably be a late second round pick if that's the case. And depending on the type of prospect, that's not a great thing for that's not a great deal for Calgary, because especially they were looking at him as like, a guy that they can get rid of for a first round pick. So the only good thing with him is that he's very willing and open to go wherever, whether it be Edmonton, Vancouver, Tampa, Florida, Toronto, blah, blah, blah. The names go on. Um, if a team decides that they really want him, they can swoop in and say, look, screw it. We're going to give you a first round pick and a good prospect and see you later. We'll see what happens though, right? I think there's a lot of time to figure out what needs to be done. And, in terms of getting a good package, there's still lots of time. And I wouldn't be surprised if there's a deal that probably happens between now and I'm going to say next Tuesday, in a week from now. I wouldn't be surprised if that was the case. So anyway, that's my little rant here. Connor saying there was a lot of giggles. I'm not even going to say in the battle where Coleman was holding off Janmark, who was pummeling him. I know Coleman was just a menace that night. Rebound front. Oh my God, Peltier hit the crossbar. Good chance again for the Flames early on, crossbar and out with 10 minutes to go. No score early on in this one. But yeah, Coleman was an absolute menace on Saturday. If you saw, there was the hit on McDavid, took him up, flattened him, and they go back the other way and score. So, I mean, hey, the hit was worth it. Calgary can't really afford to lose Marsh if neither of their backup goalies aren't able to tell up. That's exactly what I'm trying to get into, is that there is no rush, right? Dustin Wolf had not the greatest outing against San Jose. It's a good learning lesson. Vladar for me needs to go next year. He needs to be gone, right? If you find a way to just, trade him and sign a third string goaltender even, great, because Dustin Wolf needs to see some minutes in the NHL next year. He needs to play at least 15 to 20 games next year. He's got to start playing some more games in the NHL, and we really have to see what he's capable of. So I totally agree there. Knights currently lead the Leafs 4-1 here in the third with 9 minutes to go in that one. And the Red Wings continue their scoring assault 7-3 over the Capitals. I have never heard of that term before. A small but significant bit of conflict. I love it. It's close to something, but I'm not going to say it. But I love it. So anyway, we'll see what happens in terms of trades. I think it was funny. You really thought the market was set though once Lindholm got dealt, and then once Monahan got dealt, you really thought that there was going to be a lot of dominoes that were going to fall into place, and it just didn't happen. So yeah, we'll see what happens. I think once one trade happens, either later this week or Monday or Tuesday, then we'll kind of see what happens. But anyway, I apologize too. I don't know if you guys are getting the greatest connection here. It appears I don't have a great stable connection right now, so I'll try to work on that for you guys. Anyway, 10 minutes to go here. 5-3 are the shots for the Flames here. No score though in this one early on. Flames have had one power play, but it was pretty well fought off by the Kings there defensively. The Kings are 1-2 record in their last 3. They've won 6 of their last 7 prior to these last 3 games. So, they were playing well recently. I remember they were playing well, especially against the Bruins. I think it was 2 weekends ago, give or take. Remember specifically that game. It's a team that you don't want to push over, right? And specifically a guy in Quentin Byfield who's been nothing short of sensational in the last little bit. I had the chance to watch him a lot up in Sudbury for a little bit, and he's a fast kid, man. He's such a fast kid, and he's going to be dangerous to watch if he keeps going at this rate. So we'll see what happens. I'm going to try something here because I apologize with my connection if you guys aren't getting it okay. I'm just going to switch it up here real quick. So just bear with me if I cut out. I don't know. I gotta fix this issue tomorrow because it's not fantastic. Okay, bear with me for a sec. This is probably not going to work. I might just not touch it. I'll leave it. Connor's saying, what Canadian phrases have you got that I've not heard of? Oh boy, Canadian phrases. Me not going on to Google right now. It's not that I don't know any. It's just they just come up in conversation. All right, A is an easy one. If you don't know the Loonies and Toonies, then You're going to learn today. Um, I don't. I don't use a lot. I think if I look it up, they're going to be like the cliche, like stereotypical ones. Um, okay, a good one here probably is double double. I don't drink it, but so it's a coffee with 2 cream and 2 sugar. Um, don't drink sugar in your coffee. It tastes like crap, in my opinion. Mickey's like a little bottle of whatever, like I think it's rye, or is it? It's just a bottle of booze. That's all it is. I thought it was a specific drink, but no, a Mickey's like something like a 2 or 3 shots mixed into one bottle. So it's pretty nice. And I'll give you one more here. I was going to mention the Canuck, but with you, I won't. Loonies and Toonies, no. So there are $1 and $2 coins that we still use. So loonies are the $1 coin and toonies are the $2 coins. Go look it up. I don't know what to tell you. Go look it up. Commercial break here as we got 10 minutes to go here in the first. No score in this one. Let me know what you guys are up to tonight as I feel like I'm stepping on a nail. Nope, that's just a piece of trash. Okay. We're going to be in a long one tonight. I can feel it already. Anyway, in terms of because we have time and we are looking at this lovely flash score here, I thought it would be appropriate to take a second while here in commercial break and check out the standings. So again, I can only show you what is not the wild card. It only shows me 1 through 8, but it kind of tells you like 7 and 8 who are the wild card seeds there. But specifically in the West, the Canucks currently it's cut down a little bit now with a couple of losses recently for the Canucks, but they're at 82 points right now with the Jets currently at 79, Dallas at 79, Colorado right there, Vegas who has struggled a little bit. I'm one to imagine that the Canucks are probably fine in terms of having the #1 seed in the Pacific. That's just me. Who wins the Central is anybody's guess at this point. Vegas and Edmonton are more than likely going to lock heads, in my opinion, in a divisional matchup. Then again, the LA Kings are also right there, but we'll see what happens. I mean, lots of hockey to be played, and there's lots of time to figure this out. So, again, for the two teams tonight, Calgary currently sitting at 62 points. A win puts them 3 points back of the Predators. If they lose tonight, they would be 4 points back of the Kings with a win over LA tonight. I believe currently Minnesota is winning in their matchup, and I think St. Louis is losing. So that's always nice to have. Going to the Eastern Conference. Oh, that's live standings. Here we go. This is better. Let's check out the. Why is it only showing me the West? I don't want to see the West, please. What the heck is going on here? Okay, I don't know why it's just showing me the West. So you know what? I'm just going to leave it. It's fine. Everything's fine. There we go. Let's just leave it. I don't want to mess anything else up tonight. Oh my goodness. I don't know because I refuse to use cash. It includes suddenly having a bunch of coins. I actually don't mind it. I use a smaller wallet, me personally. So like I like to leave my coins in my car and just decide like if I need to go get a cup of coffee or whatever, I'll use my loose change and it's fantastic. So it's good if I see loonies and toonies in my car, I'm a happy man already because that means I can go get a free coffee if I wanted to. So they're showing now since December 26th, they've had 5 separate winning streaks of 3 games or more for the Flames. On top of that, though, they've lost a bunch 2 in a row, which doesn't really help in that regard. They are 7-3 in their last 10. So that's always nice to see as well. Red Wings just pummeling on the Capitals tonight, currently up 8-3 in that one. Knights now lead 4-2 late here in the third against the Leafs in that one. My pick is Dallas to win the conference final. I totally agree. I think this is Dallas's year. I think that, if it all falls into place, it feels like that they are really a defenseman away from making a run. I'm not sure there's a more complete team in the Western Conference than the Dallas Stars right now. You're going to have elite goaltending with Jake Ottinger if he's healthy and ready to go. You're good top to bottom on your forward line, right? You're going to be good top to bottom in your top 6 defense, right? If you add in Chris Tanev, you're going to be fine there. I agree. I think the Dallas Stars are going to make a serious run this year. The problem only is that you're going to be in a really, really tough race here for the Central Division title, and you're going to be one step above. You don't want to be caught in that 2-3 spot in the Central, right, where the Jets and the Avalanche are too, right? I think the Jets are still currently first in that Central, so it really is a race because you don't want to fall into that 2-3 because you're going to be playing a tough opponent regardless, right? Um, and then even with the wild card race, if the Canucks happen to finish top of the West, you're going to get the best wild card team. The LA Kings are no pushover. They played pretty well as of recent, and if that's just where they happen to sit, then I can totally see the Kings maybe making an upset, right? So, um, just with the way things are kind of jockeyed right now, I like Dallas. I'm not disagreeing. Um, it's just a tough road, right? I think you can find a lot of teams that might be a sneaky surprise, right? And we've seen it the last 2 years at least, where wildcard teams just happen to surprise people, right? And Panthers did it last year. Seattle did it last year when they made it to Game 7 against Dallas in that Western semifinal. There's a lot of once you're in, you're in. It's a clean slate. It's anybody's game, right? And it's who's hot and who's not, right? That's what it's going to come down to. So, yeah, I like Dallas. I think that they're probably, for me, at least in the driver's seat in terms of being more of a complete team than the rest of the league, or excuse me, at least in the rest of the Western Conference. But that's just me, so we'll leave it at that. But I like Dallas, so I don't disagree at all. Again, 4:42 left in the Leafs game over on that side. Currently 4-2 for Vegas in that one there. Vegas would be 5 points clear of the Edmonton Oilers if they, I think, 3 or 5 points clear tonight if they win or if they hold on, against the Leafs in that one. And thinking of the East, why this thing won't give me the standings for the Eastern Conference, no idea. And also, I can't put a bottle cap on a bottle. No score here, by the way. Still 5 minutes left in the first as they go back to commercial break. So while we're on commercial break, let's take a little peek again and see if this stupid thing works, which apparently it doesn't. Well, anyway, you see the West. That's what it is. I don't know what to tell you. Live standings, sure, doesn't really tell me a whole lot. Yeah, that's not going to work. Okay, I'm not even going to bother anymore. But you get the idea. You get the picture here. As we got 5 minutes left in the first, no score, nothing going on. It feels like both goalies already are going to be locked in for tonight. So that's what it really feels like. What's going to go on tonight. So we'll see what happens. Andrew checking in. What's going on, Andrew? Great to have you back as always. I love the new updated picture. It looks like, oh, it's a beer. Okay, I thought you had like a plastic cup, and it looked like you had like, I don't know what it was. It looked like you had like rum or something in there. But cheers. Nice to see you. Good stuff. Oh my goodness. Hope everybody's had a good week so far. I know it's only Tuesday, but God knows I'm making through it. Or at least trying to make through it okay. Kind of excited. I got a new desk set up for work here on THPN, and I'm honestly really excited for playoff time again. I know those always do really well. I wasn't surprised that tonight isn't going to be great. It's a Tuesday night and it's super late, but I'm just doing this for pure enjoyment tonight, so it's all good. And I'm glad you guys are here, just kind of hanging out with me for this one. But if you guys want to know, tomorrow night we have Rangers and Blue Jackets. We're going to be doing live tomorrow. You're going to have your boy Jimmy, of course. He's going to be in that one. And Lance from our Columbus Blue Jackets podcast will also be live for that one as well. So make sure you guys go in and check out that one. And also, too, we're going to be live for Deadline Day next Friday as well. So we're going to be live for, believe it or not, for 5 hours that entire day from 10 till 3 or 3:30, however long they decide to finish that one up there. But we're going to be live for Deadline Day on Friday next week, as I'm kind of crossing my fingers that there's not a lot of deals made before Deadline Day, or it's going to be a really slow day. And I'm not looking forward to it. So we'll see how that one goes. And to give you an early update of what that's going to be, it'll be myself and Neil will cover the first 2.5 hours of the stream, and we're going to get Jimmy. And I think we're going to get, think somebody else, I can't remember who's going to do it. We're going to get two of our guys to finish up the last 2.5 hours of our live stream on Friday of deadline day. So we're going to be on the ball for that one. In terms of making sure we give you guys the most up-to-date news and information best we can. We're going to be on social media for the entire time to give you guys the best chance to hear about any trades that will break, and we'll give you guys our instant reaction for that one. So excited to see. I'm just amazed that we're still top after Boston and New York choked badly in their previous games. That would put either one of them in number one. Yeah, I mean, so if I'm speaking correctly here, you guys are talking about the Canucks, at least Connor here. Yeah, I was watching that one. I really thought Boston was going to run away with that game, so I didn't see the end of it, but I was surprised that they came back and won that game. And I don't think I've really talked about, I mean, completely forgot about what happened in Minnesota, too, with the Canucks. I don't know if you want to talk about that, Connor, but we don't have to. Not a big deal. And here, they're showing Noah Hanifin here Saturday against the Oilers. He had 2 goals, 1 assist. He was a +3, had 7 shots, and blocked 5 in that one. He had a phenomenal game. As I'm glad he's still playing really well. He is playing for a new contract, too, whether it's in Tampa or wherever else he decides to go. But, hey, we'll see what happens with Noah in this one. So, does anyone really want the President's Trophy? I think Florida's going to win the President's Trophy this year. I think they're rolling pretty good right now, if I'm not mistaken. They're not far. Yeah, I think Florida's. You got Vancouver and the Bruins tied in first overall. Rangers at 81, 1 point back. I think Florida, they're right there, 2 points back. They've been playing really good lately, and I wouldn't be surprised if the Panthers get the number 1 seed. Excuse me, if they win the President's Trophy. But you win the President's Trophy, it means nothing. It means nothing. I was more surprised New York losing to Columbus. I did see that. They lost to Columbus earlier. But then again, like, it just happens. You just lose to bad teams, right? Sebastian checking in. What's going on, Sebastian? The Red Wings absolutely blasted the Washington Capitals after Washington scored like 6 goals on 14 shots against the Senators last night. So maybe they're a little tired. But yeah, the Wings have been playing really good. And, that's a team I'm more than certain nobody wants to see come playoff time, because I believe that they're probably going to be adding at the deadline here coming up. Also, I missed a power play here for the Flames as scramble in front. Cam Talbot, no idea where it is here. I missed a power play here, and it looks like Nazem Kadri is down. Oh, no, this is not good. He is in a lot of pain right now. I don't know if he's shaken up or going to see the replay here. He might have just blocked a shot here from Jonathan Huberdeau. Okay, you know what? He's probably it hit him right in the stomach. So he's probably going to be okay. I don't think he just really expected that one. Right in the midsection, not a pretty place, especially if it doesn't hit your chest pad and it goes under to the rib cage. It's not great. Yeah, I mean, no, he's good. He's laughing about it. He was down for a while. He was just laughing about it with Huberdeau. So he's doing all right in that one. Canadiens finished up a good win there over the Coyotes, 5-2 the final in that one, as Andrew is currently watching the game from the floor. And I did miss, there is a power play currently happening right now, about 1:35 to go here. And it looks like it's Maubrère who is off for holding. He's playing with Doughty. I don't know if anybody knows about him. I've never heard of his name in my life, so anything would be great if you could. Maubrère, I've never seen that guy before. Maybe he's a call-up. Maybe he's just somebody that they needed, right? So we'll see what happens. We got a nice Kings fan here coming in here. Hernan, what's going on here? Apologies for last night's game. I felt like you guys should have won that one. I watched the second period. I missed the third. So I don't know I know it was 2-2 going into the third period. I was kind of pulling for you guys to win just because it's Edmonton, nice little rivalry there. So apologize, but should be a good game tonight. Cam Talbot's currently playing really well right now. So that's always good to see. With him playing really well right now and Markstrom seemingly playing well too, it feels like it's going to be a low-scoring game tonight. And you say that, and then all of a sudden, somebody's going to score like 4 goals in a row or something stupid like that. 1 minute to go here on power play. 3 minutes left here in the first period in this one. But thanks for coming on, Hernan. Appreciate it. Golden Knights wrap up a good win there over the Leafs, 6-2. They extend their lead there for the number 2 seed in the Pacific Division over at least the Edmonton Oilers for now. I believe that puts them 5 points ahead now of Edmonton for that number 2 spot. I could be wrong. I'm just guessing here, to be honest, as the Flames are still looking to try to break the ice here in this first period, as it looks like the Kings are going to kill off what is another penalty that they're going to kill off here, as the Flames cannot get going here on the power play. They've had good chances, just nothing seeming, no puck bounces really going their way tonight. And it also doesn't help too that Andrei Kuzmenko is not in the lineup tonight, so not fun. He came down with some weird flu. Like he's been sick for the last couple of days, and they were talking about it, saying like, yeah, like he's not doing well. So they're just giving him, and they're not really rushing him back. They're just making sure he's good, like nothing's wrong with him. Just bring him back at they're just being cautious with it. That's all. So it's all good, and hopefully we'll be able to see him. I think the next game for the Flames is going to be on Saturday. So having said that, the Flames play now, and they won't play again until Saturday. So they have a couple of days off, and it makes you wonder if a deal could be done between now and then. Me personally, I think a deal might get done more quicker with Chris Tanev if the Stars are really aggressive in wanting to get him and are the clear front runners to get him. So it won't surprise me if Tanev is gone within the next couple of days, because they have so much time off until Saturday when they play Pittsburgh. Won't surprise me at all if Tanev goes in the next couple of days. Then again, it won't surprise me if I'm wrong about another prediction, but what's new? Under a minute to go here. Flames still applying a lot of pressure even after the power play here. Shots are 9-3 for the Flames. I'm expecting the Kings to come out here, though, in the second period and put on a little bit more of an offensive performance, even with only 3 shots on goal. Doesn't help when they're in the box for a good 4 minutes of the 20 in the first, so doesn't really help there. 30 seconds to go here. Still a lot of pressure here. Mangiapane trying to get a shot on blocked and goes wide. Mangiapane on a line with Backlund and Coleman. Coleman's kind of slowed off recently. He's had a great career year so far in terms of goals. He's got over 20 for the year. And Byfield knocks down Mangiapane right in front of the bench as everyone was changing. No call there. They're going to keep playing as things are starting to get a little chippy here in this one. 5 seconds to go, and that is going to do it for this one here in the first period. Shots are 10-3 and no score after 1. We got Daniel Barry Sports Highlights coming in. What's going on, Daniel? Nice to have you here. Thank you for joining us. So we're first intermission here. I'll go away for a little bathroom break. Love to come back. Would love for you guys to ask some questions, have some good discussions about the trade deadline coming up. Any predictions, anything, any speculation or any trade proposals that you guys have that I'm also actually going to bring up too in the first intermission. So as I'll quickly check here though with the comments here before we go to break, as the Predators are currently up 3-1 over the Senators. So that's not great to see if you're a Flames fan, as Hockey from Home is checking in. What's going on? Panthers currently lead 3-2, looking to hold on there with a minute to go in that one. Flyers up 4-2 over the Lightning, 4 minutes left there in the third. Jets currently lead 3-2 after 2 against the Blues, and the Wild and the Hurricanes are currently tied at 2 after 2 in that one. Also, Stars and Avalanche are tied at 1 there in the first period. So, alrighty, so that's the first period. Let's step aside here for about 3 minutes here. I don't know why I'm over there. There we go. Let's step aside here for 3 minutes, and we will come back. And if you guys got any questions or proposals that you'll have, I know that I will. We'll talk about that and a lot more coming up here in our first intermission. So stay with us. Welcome back. First intermission here in our Flames and Kings game here. There's currently no score in this one so far, so exciting as always. But I thought we could do something fun here. So a little bit of quick story or a little bit of a background here. One of our Habs podcasts today put out a trade proposal. They put out actually 4 trade proposals for the upcoming deadline for next week, and it didn't do well. It did not do well in terms of a lot of people were not big fans of the trades. So what I'm going to do is there were 4 trades, and I just wanted to show you guys what they were. So these are just mock trades that they made, and I want your guys' opinions and I want your guys' thoughts on these mock trades. Again, these are going to include the Canadians in all 4, but it got a lot of heat in terms of acquiring guys, and maybe it was a little outlandish, but hey, these are mock trades, right? So this is why we have some fun with it. So this was the first one here. So the Canadians would acquire Alex Turcotte in exchange for Jake Allen, Justin Barron, and a 3rd-round pick. That one I don't hate. I think the Habs, it's a lot for a guy like Turcotte. I don't know if the Kings would even be willing to trade him in exchange for Jake Allen. In this case, he'd probably be a backup goaltender for a playoff run this year. I mean, we'll see how it goes. I wouldn't be too crazy about giving away Justin Barron as well, too. You throw in a 3rd-round pick. It's not a terrible idea. Maybe not something I don't think Montreal would do in the first place, but obviously trying to acquire Alex Turcotte might go a long way. You lose Jake Allen, you will have still 2 goaltenders to work with for the Canadians. Just losing Justin Barron might hurt a little bit, but you're still getting a good asset in Alex Turcotte at the end of the day. So not a terrible one in that one there. Let's move on here to the Rangers and the Habs. So the Habs would acquire Kaapo Kakko in exchange for David Savard and a 1st-round pick. It would not be a good trade for the Canadians here to give up a 1st-round pick that they already have from the Jets this year in exchange as well as Savard, just to acquire Kakko, who clearly hasn't been that well this year. So I don't know. I didn't love this one, to be honest. In the side of Montreal, I think that you can acquire a lot more assets from getting rid of a 1st-round pick and a defenseman in David Savard just for getting Kakko. So maybe throw in a high pick there and maybe we'll have a conversation, but that would be a tough one to sell in that regard there. Another one we got here, Trevor Zegras to the Canadians for Sean Farrell and 2 1st-round picks, the Winnipeg one and the Calgary one. So the Calgary one actually isn't solidified for 2025 because the Canadians will either have their pick this year if the Flames finish outside the top 10, or if the Flames, in the bottom 10 of the standings, if the Flames finish outside of the bottom 10 in the standings, then that pick will automatically be next year's 1st-round pick. So we'll see again with that regard. Again, with Trevor Zegras, 2 1st-round picks and Sean Farrell, it's a lot to give up for Trevor Zegras, who to me hasn't shown his full potential out there in Anaheim. So, you guys can make of what you see here in this one. I don't think it's, again, for the Canadians, it's not that great. You don't want to give up a good prospect either in Sean Farrell. And if this is the peak of what Trevor Zegras is going to be, then this is a lot of future assets to give away. So that's my 2 cents on that one. And then the last one here involves the Penguins for Jake Gensel. It's unlikely that Gensel would get traded anyway to the Montreal Canadiens, considering where they are in the standings. He probably wants to go to a cup contender, but here it is regardless. Josh Anderson would go the other way. Jordan Harris and those 2 1st-round picks would be back on the table. There is no shot that the Pittsburgh Penguins would take this. They don't want to take on the contract for Josh Anderson. Yeah, Jordan Harris would be an okay prospect, and the idea of having 2 1st-round picks, okay, it's nice, coming from Winnipeg and especially Calgary in 2025. So that might be of interest to them, but just for acquiring a guy like Jake Gensel, I think this is a lot to give away. It'd be nice to get rid of the Anderson contract, which might be a hard sell, but again, this one's up in the air for me too. So yeah, that's what I thought I'd kind of show you there in that regard. They didn't have the best reaction I should say on Twitter, you guys can go see. There's about 20,000 people who looked at it, and we're not big fans of those mock trades, but that's why they're called mock trades. So that's okay. Curious to see if you guys have any sort of mock trades you want to bring up. I want to see if, because we are a Flames live stream tonight, obviously, I'm curious to see what different proposals we have for the Flames and what kind of market that looks like. Um, I imagine, man. So I just picked a random site here just to kind of see, have some fun with it a little bit. Also, Jared is checking, and I should say hello to Jared. What's going on? Nice to see you again. Also, that was an awesome game to watch though with the Bruins. Bruins and Flames played last Saturday. That was a fantastic game to watch. Really exciting overtime. Had all the chances in the world in OT, as Jared's stating there. Really exciting hockey though to watch. It was really cool to see. So still great game to have. Well, so again, since we are Flames live stream right now, might as well take a little peek here at some possible trade proposals here. So again, we're bringing back up New Jersey here. Devils would receive Jacob Markstrom. The retention is there, but then the Flames would receive Holtz, Vanacek, a 2024 first, and a 2025 third round pick. If you guys can't see it, it's all right there. So I don't love the fact that Vanacek's coming the other way. If I'm the GM, I wouldn't want Vanacek because we see exactly what he's doing as a starting goaltender this year at his age and where he's at. Like, he's clearly not doing well, right? He's clearly not where he wants to be. So I don't love it. The retention's there. Okay, great. It's something I feel like the Flames wouldn't cough up that easily. Hanifin heads back to the States. In this case, he would go to the Lightning here. You'd get Hayden Fleury, Nico Huhtinen, a 2026 first-round pick, and a 2025 second-round pick. The thing for me that's really intriguing is that 2026 first-round pick. I would more than likely accept this trade. I would totally take the Tampa Bay Lightning's first-round pick in 2026. I would 1,000% do that in a heartbeat. Mainly because you don't know what the Lightning are going to be 3 years from now. And if they have a bad year, then it just shows you right there. So there's that one there. And we'll finish up with one more here. Let's pick one more. Let's do Tanev here to the Oilers here. Straight up Tanev for a first-round pick. Yeah, I mean, I still wouldn't do a trade to Edmonton, but yeah. Don't like him. Not a fan. Again, it's no score here after one in this one. I appreciate you guys all coming in and hanging out with me. A lot of good chances early on, though, for the Flames. A little bit of a scare, though, in the first for Nazem Kadri when he went down. Just had a puck to the chest. Not the greatest look in the world. But yeah. Sorry, I'm just trying to listen to what they're saying here. Okay, I thought it was something important. My bad. But yeah, first period, kind of a dud, not going to lie. A little bit of a slow one there. Could have been better, could have been worse, but that's okay. He's awful, should not be a goalie. Yeah, I agree. Flyers win 6-2 over the Tampa Bay Lightning as the Flyers get a massive win in that one. I think the Flyers with that one, they put themselves in a really good position now in terms of holding down a playoff spot. So they would be they're at 69 points tonight. Nice. And just pushing that lead even further away from some of the other wild card chasers or playoff chasers, I should say. Predators currently have 3-1 over Ottawa. Predators looking to lock that one down there. And Jets lead 3-2 over the Blues at the end of 2 in that one. And the Hurricanes and the Wild are also currently tied at 2 there. 9:58. Oh my God, this is going to be a long night. I'm not looking forward to it. Oh my goodness. There we go. Perfect. Cool. Again, I preach sparkling water if you guys want it. That's just me. And I was also thinking about too, and I should have saw actually in the what was it in the in our little music section, I saw that we have our goal horn. If we don't use it tonight, I completely apologize. All right. Again, I'm not surprised this isn't one of the most exciting streams tonight either. It's a Tuesday night. It's 9 o'clock. People have to work tomorrow morning. I get it. Trust me, I got it. What else is going on here? Avalanche currently up 2-1 over Dallas in that one there. Ooh, that's actually an important one. That's an important one there. Let me bring up what are the standings for that one here? Here, first of all, let me keep that up here for a second. Yeah, that's an important one because yada yada yada. Okay, what are these standings? What is this? Okay, that's better. There we go. Okay, I don't know what those standings were. So 79 points for the Stars, Colorado at 75. This is more important for Colorado because they don't want to fall too far back of Dallas. A win for Colorado tonight would mean they're 2 points back in Dallas. But if Dallas can find a way back into that matchup there, they would be really taking Colorado out of this one because then all of a sudden that lead pushes to 6 points in that between Dallas and Colorado there. And it would also push it to 4 if Winnipeg doesn't win tonight. They're currently up 3-2 on the Jets in that one. This Central race is going to be really interesting to watch. It's close in every regard. Like you see Avalanche Stars there, the Jets currently winning in this one. It's really anybody's game. And to let everybody know, Jackets and Rangers tomorrow night. Jimmy and I believe Lance from our Jackets podcast are going to be live for that one tomorrow. So make sure to check that one out if you guys get a chance. And that one. All right, so they're going to be starting the second here hopefully soon. I'm hoping that somebody can get something going here, please. 10 o'clock here. I do not got a lot of stuff to do tomorrow that I'm not really looking forward to, but that's okay. You got to do it for hockey, right? To also let you guys know as well, expect a pretty big announcement in the next 2 to 3 months. That's all I'm going to say. Expect a very big announcement in the next couple of months. Got a lot of got a very exciting plan coming up in terms of the future of the network, and excited to introduce it to you guys. We're very much looking forward to it, and it's going to be a game changer. So expect to hear an announcement probably in the next 2 months. So we'll tease that. And again, we're letting you guys know that we're going to do the deadline live next Friday, and you guys can check in. Chat with us. Anything that you guys know of, you can always share with us. We'll try to be up to date as best we can for you for that deadline. We'll be on social media. We'll be on everything that we can for at least 5 hours. We'll be starting that stream at 10 o'clock and we'll go all the way until deadline at 3 p.m. Eastern. And then the minutes / half hour afterwards when random trades start coming in and they finish up the day in that one. So hopefully there's a lot of trades on next Friday for that one. So make sure you guys want to check that out. In terms of the schedule this week, we just have the one tomorrow for you guys. And I think that's going to be it for this week. The next one actually would be the deadline, unless new ones pop in between now and then. But expect us also to be very busy come playoff time. And speaking of the devil, we are about to get underway here in a second. We got people wearing Oilers jerseys at this game. It makes absolutely no sense. You got small children wearing Oilers jerseys. We got a problem. Kyle's going to fight some children very soon. And we got a little girl who just stole her brother's popcorn, like snatched it out of his hands, and he's pissed. I love it. I love children. All right, we're getting ready here in the second period, and I love watching guys in the face-off just like being 2 feet away from the dot, and they're just like, just take the puck and go. Like they're not even trying to win the draw, right? It's so silly to see. But again, 2 games tomorrow night. You do have the Jackets and the Rangers tomorrow. Also, Blues Oilers at 8:30 tomorrow as well. Wednesday, there's going to be 2 games. Thursday, you got 12 games on tap. Saturday, 13 games on tap in that one too. So, yeah, a lot of important games coming up here in the latter half I imagine that we're going to probably do some important games as well, too, in March. A lot of close playoff races. So, there's going to be, I mean, hey, tonight's a pretty important one, too, as well, if you're a Flames fan. You want to get back into the playoff mix. And, it doesn't help that the Predators are going to win. But if you can do it against the Kings tonight in a wild card position, it's going to help yourselves a long way, especially because the Flames have to play the Kings 3 more times this season. So they play them tonight. I believe they play them once in March, and I think they finish up with them as well in the end of the season in April, whenever it is. But they still have to play the Kings, I think, 3 more times. It's going to be, I don't know. It's going to be tight, man. Look, they played well. I mean, outside of that 3-game losing streak, they are 7-3 in their last 10. So, you got to give credit where credit is due. I didn't think that they were going to be 2-0 after these last 2 games between Boston and Edmonton. So I got to tip my hat to them. In terms of an upcoming schedule, again, for the Flames here, you got them playing Saturday against the Pittsburgh Penguins at 10 o'clock Eastern. I will not be live. I'm not doing that. I'll be in bed. It's Saturday night. I don't know if I want to do that one. We'll see. Big game Monday as they take on the Kraken at home. And then they go for a 3-game road trip into the southeast of the U.S. as they will go to Tampa. They'll then go to Florida. They'll go to Fort Lauderdale to take on the Panthers. 2 Florida games there. And then they'll have Carolina on the 10th of March. And then they have a long homestand. 1, 2, 3, 4. Never mind. That's not too long. But then they have 4-game homestand coming up after that one. And then a quick trip over to Vancouver, another home game. It's a lot of home games coming up for this team. They don't have, in terms of a road trip, they have 3 games coming up in Tampa, in Florida, in Carolina. And then near to the end of the year, they just have their Western swing in San Jose, in LA, and in Anaheim. And then that's basically it for a lot of road trips. So, yeah, it's not too shabby. It's a pretty good way to, they are home for a lot of games. So it's kind of nice to see that they're going to have a good chunk of their playoff push being at home. So, and it looks like Anderson slipped there. No tripping call on that one. And speaking of Anderson too, I mean, there was no way we're trading Rasmus Anderson. There's no shot we're trading him. 17:25 to go here. Shots are still 11-4 for the Flames. And this one has, it's been the story of the year so far for the Flames in the sense that it's a lot of shots, not a lot of goals scored for this team. I mean, your top guy scoring is probably Sharon Govich right now, and he's currently playing on your third line. So not great. You need some guys who can put the puck in the net, and hopefully that's going to help with some help of the young guys coming up from the AHL, like I don't know, Matt Coronado, who needs to play in the NHL. That's just me, but yeah, hopefully when we get rid of Tanev and Hanifin, keeping Markstrom, that's just my 2. I think he's going to stay personally. Once Hanifin and Tanev go, it's going to free up some money, allow some of these young guys to come up. I imagine that, obviously they're both defensemen. You're going to get, I think one of the guys' names mentioned was Jeremy Poirier, who is a really high prospect, who's playing very well, who was out actually for a good chunk of the season in the AHL. And I imagine he's going to get a chance to play for this team probably closer to the end of the year if he can come up and play a little bit. I'd like to see that. He's a high prospect. And honestly, with this decor going into when we trade Tanev and Hanifin, I'm not really that concerned, to be honest. I'm not worried about losing those 2 guys and having the decor be a little bit more exposed. Like, you're still going to have Weegar and you're still going to have Shillington back there, 2 guys who are playing fairly well together, and I have to give them credit. Yeah, you're going to lose Hanifin and you're going to lose Tanev. Okay, great. But, you're going to give these young guys a really good chance to come up and play some meaningful games, right? Braden Paschal is going to be up, right? You're going to have Jeremy Poirier coming up, just another rookie. It looks like Flames are going to go to the penalty box here. It's going to be Connor Zary going in for high sticking. It's only going to be for 2 minutes here as the Kings will get their first power play of the game. And the TV froze again. I think this is a sign for tonight. Oh, there we go. Jesus Christ. This might be a sign tonight, guys. And I'll tell you what, I know it's not the most active stream tonight, but I'll kind of see maybe by the end of the second period, if it's not if it's not too active tonight, might just go to bed early. I'm gonna be quite frank with you guys. Um, it's just one of those nights. It is what it is, right? It's end of February. It's a Tuesday night, and it's like 10 o'clock, right? So I imagine not a lot of people will probably be tuning in for this one. So I'm okay with that. I think maybe by the end of the second period, I might call it early tonight. So nothing against you guys, just the way things go sometimes. So we'll see. We'll see. Maybe it picks up here in the second period as I don't know if Backlund just threw that puck into the netting. I don't know what happened there, but sure, that works too. Um, Kings will get a chance here with a minute 30 though on the power play here. They didn't do that great on the power play against the Oilers last night, so looking for a little bit of redemption here tonight in Calgary as Doughty's going to be out there manning it, and he loses the puck. Great play. Great job by Coleman to stay on it. And puck will go down there. Yeah, the Kings were 0 for 2 last night against the Oilers, so they're looking to change that here. Fiala's going to get a chance here. Puck goes wide. I wish I had Neil here. He's a better commentator than I am. I'm not cut out for it. On penalty kill, Calgary's been they were 2 for 3 against the Oilers, which is pretty good considering their power play unit of you-know-who and the other you-know-who. As they're killing a good chunk of this penalty kill off. 30 seconds to go here. Shots are still 11-4 for the Flames in this one. The Kings not having a lot of good quality shots on goal here so far in this game. If you're Calgary, Kings are coming on a back-to-back. They flew in late last night from what I heard into Calgary. They just wanted to get the game over with and then just take a quick flight down to Calgary, and they got in late. And so, you want to try and take advantage, but we'll see how the rest of the game goes. Again, Adrian Kempe not in. He was a late scratch tonight. He didn't finish the game last night. They're just showing the replay from last night. Yeah, he didn't finish the game. He was just holding his left elbow, and yeah, he's not going to be in this one tonight. He's got 6 goals in his last 6 games against the Flames specifically. So thank God he's not in the lineup tonight because he's been torching this team. No pun intended. 6 seconds to go here. Flames are going to get a bit of a chance here shorthanded as they're going to kill off the power play here. And Backlund's going to get tied up there with Jordan Spence. Power play is over for the Kings as we are back to 5-on-5 with 13:54 to go in the second. No, never mind. That's okay. Yeah, there's Tanev again. I haven't really seen Tanev do much recently. I mean, outside Hannafin playing a really, really good game the other night, Hannafin's stock's been going to be so high for the deadline, and I can't wait to see what kind of package we're going to get for him. It's going to be so nice to see. Predators probably going to finish up beating the Senators. Not great. Jets beating the Blues is kind of good. And one more late game tonight, though, by the way, guys. Devils and Sharks. Late game in that one. The Devils, I guess, are starting their Western Road swing tonight against the Sharks, and then they face the Kings soon, I would imagine, and the Anaheim Ducks in that little Western Road swing. There. Anderson holds it, brings it right back in here as they bring out Kadri with Zari and Pospisil in this one. A crazy stat they were showing. I think the Flames are 24-13 with Martin Pospisil in the lineup. Without him, the Flames are like 3-12 or something stupid like that. It's crazy what one player can really do that can really impact the chemistry within the lineup, right? Like having Pospisil in really helps this team. And to be honest, he's had a fantastic year this year, and they rewarded him with a 2-year contract at $1 million. So it's nice to see that he'll get a chance to play some proper NHL minutes with the Flames next season as well. So it's good to see that he's doing well. It's also good to see that Hannafin's doing well, and I am praying the ideal scenario here for Noah Hannafin, for really both, is 2 things for both guys, and Tanev and Hannafin. One, if Hannafin gets dealt to Tampa, that's huge. And depending on I want to see their cap friendly actually, because a lot of teams just, quite frankly, don't have the assets sometimes to acquire certain players, right? So with Tampa, the problem with them is they don't have a first round pick till 2026. If they want to come in and have a conversation about Noah Hannafin, that 2026 first round pick is on the table. You bet it's on the table. Because if he's going to sign there long term, then we're going to take that first round pick. You bet. Um, and the reason why I think that pick for me is so significant is because the Lightning, they're at the end of their cup window. They're hanging on to a wild card spot. We'll see what damage they can do come playoff time. But, at some point, it's going to come to an end, right? And if we can find a way now to acquire that first round pick, please, I would be more than happy to do so. That's why for me, like if you can make a trade with the Lightning for Hannafin, I'm totally okay with that. I have no issues with that whatsoever. Um, and then the other side of the coin with Tanev, I think for me, the destination, I even said it before, I think Dallas is clearly the destination because they have better assets in order to put together a better package. So we'll see what that package is going to be. I think it's past in terms of getting the best possible value for them. We'll see how it goes. But hey, I mean, they're both guys that are, maybe potential rentals, excluding Hannafin to the Lightning, because I guess that's his preferred destination. We'll see how it goes. But man, low shots, and this has been the most boring game I think I have done in the last 2 years. I'm not gonna lie, guys. We've got a total of 10 shots combined. Oh, sorry, 15 shots combined. My bad. And there's no score. And we're about halfway through the second period. Yeah, this is great. It's all good. Hope everybody else is having a good night, though. I appreciate you jumping me on here. I know it's kind of late here in the East. If you're in the West, I think you guys are getting started with at least another game on tap. Excuse me. There was another one that just started as well. Penguins and Canucks just dropped the puck in that one about 5 minutes ago as the Penguins begin their Western Canadian road swing. One more game to be finishing off tonight as the Devils and the Sharks will finish in that one there. Not much, Andrew. Not much is going on here. Not a whole lot, to be quite honest with you. Not a whole lot. You got about 17 shots on goal combined from both teams, and you got no score. It's been good chances on both ends, but it really hasn't been the most exciting hockey game on planet Earth. So maybe something will break through here. We'll see what happens. 8:39 to go, though. Flames kind of pressing a little bit here offensively as Byfield's going to get a chance here, dumping it in. It's been so much dumping tonight, like so much dumping the puck in, chasing it, dumping the puck, chasing it. It's just like, can we get something going here, guys? Like anything, right? What do you do? I know, Andrew. It's one of those nights, and there's nothing you can do about it. So nothing you can do about it. It's okay. We're just gonna go through it. So we're gonna do this together. 8:03 to go. Talbot's gonna cover that one up as he made such a difficult effort to make that save. Puck just slid right to him. Nothing really happened there. But yeah, so curious to see what everybody else thinks, how they're feeling with their teams towards deadline day. Anything that you guys want to see, anything that you guys don't want to see, any surprise teams that might come into the picture. I'm surprised that Florida's really not making a push for maybe our defensemen or just in general. Like I haven't heard a lot of Florida's name come into the conversation with getting with a lot of trade potential suitors at the deadline. So I feel like Florida is going to probably get in the mix on that one. Whether I think Boston needs to. Out east, I would imagine the Leafs probably have to. They lost earlier 6-2 to Vegas. Apparently, it was an ugly night tonight. So, I imagine the Leafs are going to try and see what they can do at the deadline with whatever assets they have left. I think a lot of the suitors are coming out of the West, right? They're coming from Dallas. They're coming from Winnipeg, which we saw earlier with the Sean Monahan trade. We saw with the Lindholm trade to Vancouver. We've seen, Vegas will probably make a move. The Oilers will probably make a move. It seems like a lot of Western teams are probably going to need that extra push. Dallas, already in talks with Chris Tanev. So, We'll see what happens. Yeah, Chris, for sure. I mean, I'd like to see where you guys think he goes. I know the best suitor and currently the front runner is Dallas right now. I think you can get the best possible package with Tanev for the Flames because of the assets that they do have. Maybe Florida gets into the mix because they have a good package. I probably wouldn't include the Leafs in that conversation simply because they don't have the picks nor the prospects that I think the Flames would want to acquire anyway in the first place. So, curious to see who else you guys think will get the deadline. Any proposals that you guys have? Any teams that might surprise some people that would probably push for a big trade? I'm curious to see what you guys think. And that's another one too. Actually, I forgot about Colorado. Colorado's been pretty quiet in the news recently in terms of trying to find a potential suitor, um, or excuse me, a trade partner. So what they need depends because Landeskog is coming back. I think he's coming back, if I'm not mistaken. And he scores. It's Kevin Fiala, and there you go. Finally, deadlock broken early on. It's going to be no, I'm not Kevin Fiala. My bad. As the Kings take an early 1-0 lead, it's going to be Philip Deneau as finally the deadlock's been broken here and the Kings jump out in front. But anyway, yes, Colorado, I agree. I'll get to yours, Andrew, in a second here. Just a slap shot top right corner. Philip Deneau just, was it tipped? It wasn't even tipped. Markstrom just flat out missed it. And a goal he probably wants back as Philip Deneau gets one, and the Kings jump up to a 1-0 lead early on here, or excuse me, later here in the second, as it's their sixth shot of the game, man. And it's just one of those goals that you wish you had back because Markstrom clearly had a chance to grab that one there. Andrew saying Tanev in for Seattle. I don't know if Seattle's really in the market to be a buyer right now, considering where they are in the standings. They're a young team. Maybe they do a little bit more buying in the offseason considering where they're at right now in the standings, but I'm surprised they took a step back this year. I really thought Seattle was going to kind of take one step forward this year, but it just hasn't gone their way so far. But hey, you never know. Weird stuff has happened. So we'll see how it goes. 7 minutes to go in this one. In the second here, Flames still looking to find a way to get in. They're going to be all alone here. It's going to be Mangiapane with a chance. And he scores. Andrew Mangiapane. I'm sorry if I scared people in that one. I'm sorry if I scared somebody in that. I'm waiting for like somebody to comment in the section being like, yeah, you just woke up like 5 people in my household for doing that one here. As Mangiapane just completely fake Cam Talbot there and a wide open net for Andrew Mangiapane, and just like that, we are tied. Noah Hannafin with such a good feed there too, right down the middle of the ice. Mangiapane went in all alone, and we are tied at 1. That is a really good response for the Flames here in this one, as it's finally picked up a little bit here. We're currently tied at 1 with 6:55 to go in this one. So let's go. Yeah, let's go. So again, I apologize for I just wanted to play it. Okay. I've just been waiting to play it. I saw it earlier in my music section and I needed to play it. It's been a while. Okay. So there you go. Good response here. Great move from Andrew Mangiapane there, who had a really good feed from Noah Hannafin. Hannafin was at his own blue line, saw Mangiapane streaking, fed it to him. Boom, go on. See you later on a breakaway. And he made a nice, made a nice little 1-2 decals. That is his 12th of the year for Andrew Mangiapane. That is Hannafin's 23rd point, I believe. And there you go. Or maybe it's his 23rd assist. I'll have to check later. As Mangiapane makes a really good move here, and the Flames tied at 1. Love to see it. Let's go. It's a good response, right? I mean, it's an important game for this team. It's a good response. Talbot was playing fairly good tonight, and now it's going to open up a little bit more. Now you're going to see a little bit more pressure, a little bit more risky plays probably happening soon. But yeah, it's good to see. Let's go. Love to see it. Cool. I mean, I got one in pickup on Sunday. I play with a lot of old guys, so I was a spare for Sunday in my dad's pickup game. And Andrew M is my twin brother. Ah, very nice. Cool. Very good. No, but anyway, I had a pickup game on Sunday that I had to spare for. And it was at like 8 in the morning, which is lovely. What you want to do on a Sunday morning. And just needed to they needed a spare for the game. And I'm like, yeah, whatever, I'll just go for a skate. And some of these guys, man, like you generally know in a pickup game, like no slap shots. Yeah, it doesn't matter with these guys. Their snapshots are basically slap shots in my eyes because I'm a twig and I can break pretty easily. So, not the best thing in the world to get in front of. But anyway, yeah, it was a fun skate. And I don't know about you guys if you do pick up hockey on your end or whatever league you're in. For me, I love playing early. I love playing at like whatever, not like 8:30, 9:30, whatever, in that range. Sunday morning, early hockey. Okay. You go, you're up, right? You go play whatever. You get a nice breakfast in afterwards, too. We decide to go to a little diner afterwards and have a good breakfast. You get a nice breakfast afterwards. You go home, you have a great shower, and then you sit on your ass for the next 12 hours. And that's all I did. I literally turned on a movie, had a great nap that afternoon, right? And you feel like you don't want to do anything. It's a Sunday, right? You sit down, you close the curtains, you put on a good movie, and everybody's happy. So that's how my Sunday went. Not that anybody cares, but anyway. As again, Flames with a good response here, 1-1. Now the game's starting to pick up the pace a little bit here. Now we're starting to see some little bit more physicality here as Paschal is going to go in on Anderson Dolan and that on, excuse me, his Lafreniere on a really good hit along the boards as the Kings get set up here. Kadri now has 51 points this season as well, his sixth career 50-point season in his career, and there's just madness in front of the net as Markstrom finds a way to clear it and the Flames get it out and go down the other way with Sharangovich. Markstrom was like 2 feet out of the net and nobody had an idea where the puck was, but they finally got a way to get rid of it as Tanev going to go to Huberdeau here in front behind the stars. It's going to be Blake Coleman. Coleman scores. Flames lead 2-1. We talked about it earlier. Blake Coleman, who hadn't got going in the last little bit here, picks up a juicy rebound from Jonathan Huberdeau, who just threw it on net. And Blake Coleman is going to continue his fantastic season, his career year so far, as he just fires it back in the back of the net on a good rebound from Huberdeau. And the Flames, they take a 2-1 lead. Let's go. Blake Coleman, I think they're going to show it here. That's their second goal there in a matter of 2 minutes here as the Flames, all of a sudden, they now jump up to a 2-1 lead. I don't know why Flash Score hasn't updated it, but it will eventually as the Flames are going to get another chance here as Cam Talbot covers up for this one. You bet your ass we're finishing this one, boys. Let's go. 5:56 to go here in the second as Markstrom now knows, okay, I made a mistake early on. We got a chance to really lock this down here. So let's go. Did you tell your family that you were going crazy? I'm already gone. I'm already gone at this point here. I don't know why this hasn't updated. There we go. There we go. It's 2-1 now. If I sound like I'm whispering too sometimes, I'm not trying to wake other people in the household because people have to work early in the morning, and I understand that. But yeah, my insanity's already gone, so that's okay. 3 goals have been scored in the span of 1 minute and 44 seconds as finally we got some action going here in the second period as that is Blake Coleman. I don't know how many goals that's on the year for him. They're going to show here in a second as Huberdeau picks up another point. He's having a good last couple of months. At least he's played well ever since really the start of December. He's picked up a lot of points. So, yeah, good for Huberdeau. Yeah, grabbing another point in that one. No one will face me in hockey. You can out physical me any day of the week. I'm not that hard to beat. I'm really not. TML fan, what's going on, man? Thank you for checking in with me. I appreciate it as we finally got a good game going on our hands. It was so quiet for the last period and a half, and now we finally picked it up a little bit. Appreciate you checking in, and I hope you're having a fantastic night. So, Senators and Predators. I know he put Senators 2 there. I think the Predators are going to lock down a win tonight against the Senators, unless they just scored and they're looking to try to make a comeback. I'm hoping the Senators can, because standings wise, Predators, blah blah blah. But yeah, so we got a good going. We got a good game going here. Let's go 2-1. Are you and Dylan now the people in charge? You damn right we are. So I came on here back in August of 2022. Dylan actually hired me back in 2022 to do a lot of the onboarding, dealing with the community members, doing a lot of these streams, doing social media, whatever. And now we're the two guys in charge of THPN. And to let you know too as well, and everybody else watching, that, I can't say anything, but we do have some exciting announcements coming up in the next 2 or 3 months. So be sure to check that out. I can't say anything more, but it's an exciting time for us here at the network. So we're excited about where things are going. But appreciate you checking in, though. Thanks for asking. So the Jets currently up 4-2 in that one in the third period. Good for us, for Flames fans. Jets, Blues, right? Blues kind of getting knocked down a peg now a little bit. Hurricanes currently up 3-2 against the Wild. Again, same thing. Knocks them down a peg a little bit. Love to see it. And the Avalanche currently lead 2-1 over the Stars in that one. In a game that the Avalanche, frankly, need to win to try to get back into that Central Division race to win the number one seed in that division. Finally, we're hanging together without anyone to be on here. We're all hanging out. Actually, I got a funny story here, especially for TML fan if you're still here. Dylan, he's not going to say it this week, but I'm going to say it today. So he's going to be out of the quote-unquote our offices. He's going to be out for Thursday and Friday because he's got a root canal. Okay. And he's got surgery. I don't know if I should be telling you guys this, but I'm going to do it anyway. Whatever. He's got to go get surgery, and they got to go fix that anyway. So I told him to go get his Jello and his, all those squishy, gentle foods that you got to eat for a little bit. I've been through that whole process too. It sucks. Not having a root canal, but when you get your wisdom teeth out, sucks. It's the worst. Yeah. But yeah. Oh yeah. He's it's not pretty. He's got one. He said he talked to a doctor Monday or whatever, and he's like, yeah, you got to get surgery for this. So he's getting surgery done Thursday, and he's gonna be out for a couple of days. So I'm like, I'll get your I need your girlfriend to send me pictures. So and actually, I was just gonna mention too that yeah, he's pretty old, so sucks. But I was like, good luck, man. I'll hold down the fort. So let's take a drink for Dylan, because root canals suck. So there you go. I'm sure he'll be back on his feet, though, pretty soon. So no way you got one, too. Are you kidding me? What happened to our dental hygiene, people? What are we doing? Hey? Do we not brush once in the morning and once at night? I never did that in college or university. I was so bad with that. I was lucky to I was lucky to not have any severe cavities or root canals. But now that this is happening, knock on wood. So that sucks. So you're getting one today. Dylan's going to go in Thursday morning for root canal surgery. That's brutal. Everyone's getting them now. Jesus. Everybody's got to brush once in the morning, once at night. That's ridiculous. Not kidding. That's wild. Kings are on the power play, guys, by the way. They're going to try and tie this game up here. I've never had any dental problems. Good. Good. It's probably a good thing. It's also good that if you do get a job eventually that provides those benefits, also another good thing to have. Getting me, I get my teeth cleaned every 9 months. I don't hate it, but they make you feel like crap a little bit because me personally, I try my best. I don't spend hours in the bathroom, but I'll brush once in the morning. I'll brush once at night. I might forget once or twice, but whatever. But they always go and ask you, have you been brushing? Have you been using the dental floss? Have you been using A, B, C, and D? And I'm like, well, I mean, I try. Don't put me on trial here. What are we doing? So I remember I was in 2 months ago, and they make you feel like crap, right? Oh, you haven't been doing this, they make you feel like you're going to go in for detention or something stupid like that. Like you're going to get suspended. It's ridiculous. So yeah, they make you feel like crap. Long story short. So that's why if they ever ask like, "Oh, do you floss?" I go, "Yep, I do. I don't do it all the time. Rarely do I do it, but um, as Andrew mentions here, brush your teeth because the more older you get, the more I start to notice my own breath when I wake up in the morning or even at night. I kind of just like, man, like I get like that weird whiff, and I'm like, that's not good. Like you have to be aware. Okay, you got to be hyper aware of that. I think there's a strong element of genetics too. Some people like me brush regularly, but we have a high decay rate no matter what. That's a good point. Regardless of how often you brush, it just happens, right? It is genetics sometimes. So, um, but again, like got my wisdom teeth removed, my baby ones. Yeah, I got all four removed. And quick story, and I'll go back to the game here 2 minutes to go. Um, I don't know if you guys have been put out for when you do your wisdom teeth, but you can either have a choice between the gas or the what is it, the needle, right? I go the gas because I'm not a huge needle person myself. So anyway, they start doing the work. I put the or they put the mask on, and they start going at it, and I'm kind of like, okay, is this working? Like they start doing their thing, and I'm worried. I'm like, guys, like this is not working here, and then you're out and you wake up like 3 seconds later and you're like, what just happened to me? um yeah, it's a weird feeling if you've never been put out for like any dental surgery or wisdom teeth. It's so weird, but it's kind of nice. But yeah, brush your teeth is the moral of the story. No, I do not. I do not. So also not a good thing for your teeth either, so don't do that. My parents have had a couple missing teeth, and I have inherited that from them. I mean, it's just genetics sometimes too at the end of the day, like you mentioned, right? Like it just happens. So it's all good here. Anyway, enough about teeth. Or if you want to be talking about teeth, I don't care. I'm all for it here. Flames lead 2-1 here with 2 minutes to go here in the second here. Cam Talbot's been really good these last 17 games. He's 12-4-1 with a 1.84 goals against average and a 9.33 save percentage. So first half of the year, he wasn't looking too good. Now he's playing really well as of recent here. So we're looking to see if this can kind of turn over here, maybe in the third period. Talbot's won his last two games versus the Flames. He's stopped 60 of 65 shots. So clearly he shows up when the Flames play, and shocker. But yeah. Anyway, brush your teeth, people. There's a moral of the story tonight. Just brush your teeth. Oh my god. I feel like it's infected everybody. So let's I'm gonna take another drink because let's just hope our boss Dylan has a good root canal surgery on Thursday. And I'm gonna laugh my ass off anyway when I see him next. So that's gonna be a funny one. I don't think he'll send pictures to me, nor will I show it to anybody if he does. Gotta protect privacy here a little bit. My dad was an AHL player and got his two middle teeth knocked out in a fight, so he has two fake teeth. Holy shit. So I wonder how that works. Okay. So scores. Bad rebound up for Markstrom. It's Kevin Fiala that time, and he just roofed it over Markstrom, and we're going to be tied here going into the third period as really bad rebound given up there by Markstrom, and we are all tied here at 2. Anyway, back to the comment here. We'll get into the second period here, or excuse me, second intermission in a second. It's like weird to think about this, but like you're getting in a fight, right? Okay. Directions clearly coming at your face, right? You get your teeth knocked out, like, God forbid you swallow them, because if the punches are going this way, that's kind of forcing the teeth to go that way too, right? They don't just go sideways or they fly out. So God forbid he didn't swallow them, but two fake teeth, I mean, I wouldn't even notice at the end of the day, but still, I don't want to fight that man, nor do I want to fight anybody because I'm probably going to lose 9 times out of 10. So anyway, Fiala scores, Kopitar and Byfield with the assists on now when the Kings tied up late here in the second period, and it looks like we are in for a good third period. This is the second time in a row in a matter of 24 hours that the Kings will go into a third period all tied at 2. Canucks all over the Penguins right now. 1-0 apparently. Connor's saying 12 shots to 6, and Pittsburgh's penalty coming up. So see what happens there in the Canucks game. Currently tied at 2 here with 25 seconds to go here in the second. We are sure to have a good third period coming up here as puck flicked into Cam Talbot's chest, and he is going to cover that up with 18 seconds to go. Are you happy for Chelios to retire his number and Patty Kane OT winner? You could not have scripted that any better for Patrick Kane, right? Like you literally couldn't have. Yeah, I mean, for Chelios, I think at some point he was going to get retired, so his number was going to get retired. So I'm happy for him. And a storybook ending for Patrick Kane, really. He's probably one of those guys I think that when it's all said and done for him, he'll probably sign a one-day contract with the Blackhawks. I think he'll want to retire a Blackhawk. It would make sense. It wouldn't surprise me if he goes back to Chicago. But then again, like the other side of it is like that story's kind of closed. It's time for a new chapter. Hence, he's having a good season with the Red Wings right now. So, but yeah, no, I thought that was a cool highlight package to see. As much as a wild first period we had, we certainly had an exciting one here in the second as 4 goals were scored. We are currently tied at 2 here heading into the second intermission in this one. So, and to quickly update people on the scoreboard here is 4-2 for the Jets, a win in that department there, and the Hurricanes also beat the Wild there too. So the Flames get a really good chance here going into this third period to try and capitalize on the Kings here and try to put 2 points on the board and leapfrog both the Wild and the Blues as they couldn't capitalize on their nights tonight. So good chance for both teams here for both teams to keep pushing themselves a little bit further into either the Kings in playoff contention or the Flames to keep in that race just a little bit more. So, all right, let's take a quick break here. I'm going to take a quick bathroom break, and we will be back for second intermission to probably talk about more teeth. So hang with us here as we are heading to second intermission, game tied currently at 2 here. And we'll be back in 3 minutes and see you on the other side. We'll be back. All right, let's go here. Let's get hyped here. We got a good third period coming up here as we are currently tied 2-2 after two in this one here. 4 goals all scored there. All 4 goals scored in the second period there in that one. And I can scroll for you guys to show you what's been happening. So it was Philip Deneau on a slapper fed by Fiala and Drew Doughty. Mangiapane went the other way. And assist actually from Jacob Markstrom too. So that's nice to see as Hanifin fed to Mangiapane. Game tied at 1. Coleman got a rebound from Huberdeau as Tanev also gets the assist there. And then Fiala ended up tying the game here with just over a minute left in the second period as Kopitar and Byfield get the assist on that one. And we are all tied at 2 in what should be a very exciting third period coming up here. And love that you guys are hanging out with me here with one more period to go here in this one. Let's check out, see what else is going on here. So the Predators did finish up with the win tonight, 4-1. So they continue pressing into their wild card standing a little bit more with a good win tonight. The Canucks currently up 2-0 so far against the Pittsburgh Penguins, as it seems from Connor here. Thank you very much. And the Avalanche have now extended the lead to 3-1 here in the second in a game that does feel like it is must win for the Avalanche tonight against the Stars. And again, as RJ mentions here, it's 2-0 after 1 between the Canucks and the Penguins in this one. So yeah, pretty good second period. I mean, it's great to see that we're finally getting some action in this one here as yeah, lots of time left here, and it's an important third period for both teams. And it's important, especially that for whoever you're rooting for here, or whichever team here, you want to get the full 2 points, right? Every point matters now at this point, and you don't want to give your opposition any sort of feeling like, hey, we go to OT, we still got a point out of this, right? So, even if you're Calgary tonight, this does feel like a must win, right? And if you're the Kings, if the Kings walk away with a point here, I don't think they'd be too disappointed, but they're in another game that's a 2-2 game going into the third period, and they saw what happened last night. Might give them some more motivation here going into the third period, but we'll see what happens. So I made the silly mistake of not going to the bathroom during that intermission. Yeah, I think I'm going to have to hold it. That's pretty unfortunate. I'll be fine. We got lots of time here as, yeah. So hope everybody's having a fantastic day so far. And, night. It's almost 11 o'clock. And, I can't wait for bed tonight as the last game is getting underway tonight as well, too. The Devils and the Sharks are just getting underway in that one there. So again, let's check out the updated standings so far. So what that means, you had the Wild and I don't know why it's laid out like that. There we go. So the Wild lost tonight, and I believe the Blues lost tonight as well too. So the Flames will get a good opportunity to leapfrog those two teams and try to draw a little bit closer to Nashville. Again, a win tonight for the Flames would mean they would be 4 points behind the LA Kings. And if the Kings actually lose here in regulation, then the Predators and the Kings would swap places here for the wild card standings. So the Kings would drop down to the second wild card spot, while the Predators then leapfrog up to the top wild card spot in that one there. So the Flames would be 6 points behind Nashville still if they win tonight. And it really speaks volume to it really does speak volume to being an important third period here for the Flames, because the Predators, it'll update here, but they're going to be at 70 points here, right? And if the Kings win, that puts them at 71. If the Flames don't pull off a win tonight, they would be 8 points clear of a playoff spot. So you have to keep pace. That's the important thing here, right? And it's going to be tough to try to keep pace if you're just giving these guys free wins, right? Especially when you're playing that team, you have to be able to somewhat maintain it a little bit here, right? Going into the last stage here of the season, especially in an important time in March. So, if the Flames really have to start deciding on what they're going to do. If they're going to try to push for the playoffs, this really does have to be a game where you have to win. You have to be the desperate team here in the third period, and you have to be the one that, is going to give everything you can for this one, because it's these 2 points are important to keep yourself in the conversation. So we'll see what happens. Steve Dangle should make for an interesting reaction after his Leafs lose after 7x games in a pretty shocking manner. Did they lose? How bad did they lose? Excuse me. It was 6-2, I think, wasn't it? To the Golden Knights. Was it that bad, or like what was the I mean, what was the ramifications of it? Like, was it the fact that they just, like, their goaltending was bad? Was it their defense? I'm just curious to know, like, was it something that was highlighting that was really bad? Like, I'm just like, Connor, like, let me know. I'm just curious to see. I'll probably watch the highlights after, but I might even have to watch that and see his reaction, because everybody wants to see his reaction, man. I could do that. I could totally do it. You get this team, you get this team riled up here. You get me pissed off about this team. I can do the same thing that he's doing. Actually, I kind of was earlier on in the year, but it's funny. Like, I always find it hilarious. Like, the reason why, like, I mean, and he's been knowing this for years now, right? And it's true. Like, his most popular videos are the ones where he gets extremely frustrated, right? And over the top, and you know, with the over the top reactions, right? And it's true. Like, they blow up for a reason, right? People want to see that stuff, right? People don't want to see, let's put it this way. People don't want to see me, right? Game ends tonight, the Flames lose 3-2. They don't want to see me being like, well, we played good. It was a good, hard fought game, blah, blah, blah. Like, nobody's going to care about that, right? If they lose in embarrassing fashion tonight and I make a 10-minute video where I implode about this team, might gain some traction, right? That's just the game. That's all it is, right? And we'll see what happens, right? I'm curious to see what his reaction is, because he always brings out good content. He always brings out good videos, and you got to give him a lot of credit. He does great work. So might mean nothing, but a scoreline like that for a team that has like worth 50 million worth of forwards is bad. Listen, that team, the Leafs are so screwed. They're so screwed. So I'd be okay if we trade with that team too, because that just means you have to give more assets to us. I think, what was the number? 65% of their salary next year goes towards Matthews, Marner, Tavares, Nylander, Morgan Riley. 65% of your salary cap to 5 guys. How wild. What are you going to do in free agency with this team? They're not good enough. They're not good enough to compete in the East this year. There is no shot. They're going to get run over by Florida if they play them. I think if they match up with the Bruins, I think they lose in that one. You put them in a wild card spot, I don't think they survive the Rangers. Either way, they're in a piss poor position, right? They're not in a good spot. Their only hope, okay, if you play Boston in the first round, I'll give you a chance. But that team isn't built to beat Florida. Florida's going to beat the absolute brakes off them come playoff time. It's just what it is. They're not a good – the Leafs are not a good team. They're not built to win the cup this year. They're not. And I've been saying it for months now, for years, that this team is not built enough. And we've seen the track record. So, you want to put all that money towards those guys, great, but they better do something come playoff time. Matthews had 1 goal in the playoffs last year. Against that series against Florida. Excuse me, I should be more specific. In that series against Florida, he had 1 goal. Okay? And the guy's making $13 million now, right? They gave him that contract, by the way. After he showed up, quote unquote, against Florida with 1 goal, they signed him to a $13.5 million contract for the next 4 years. when it kicks in. Like, they signed him to extension when they could, and so I actually think it kicks in next season because I think he's finishing up his contract this year, his old one. So for the next 5 years, you have him, and everybody was going off about how he might get 70 goals this year. For all I care, the guy can score 100. I don't care. It means nothing. How many times do we have to say the stat? The stats in the regular season mean nothing. They mean nothing. They don't mean a damn thing. Matthews can score all the goals that he wants. McDavid can score all the points that he wants. Okay? And whatever else that you see. And a guy that can probably tell you that up front is Nathan MacKinnon, right? He's a great player. He's a top 5 player in the league. But damn it, he shows up in the playoffs. He shows up and was one of the key reasons why they won the cup, whatever that was 2 years ago. So, you want to sign these guys to big contracts, they better show up. What I loved about the McKinnon thing was that I don't know what contract he was on at the time, but when he won the cup, he got that 8-year extension worth $12 million or whatever it was because he earned it. Because the guy earned it. Not to say that Matthews hasn't earned his, because he's been sensational in the season for the last however many years. The problem is you don't show up when it counts. McDavid at least shows up. It's just his team behind him sucks. Matthews doesn't even show up against that series against Florida in the second round when they make it for the first time in 20 years. And his team behind him isn't that great. So to finish my rant here, they're going to get wiped. It doesn't matter what they do at the deadline. That Leaf team is going to get wiped. They're going to get their ass kicked physically by Florida specifically, maybe by Boston. They could be bullies and push them around. But the top guys, if Matthews is scoring 70 goals this year, he better score 10 in the first 5 games or whatever. If they go to 7 games in the first round, he better score 10 goals, right? The guy better show up, right? So, and it goes back to what I said earlier, and specifically what Connor said earlier too. And I'll get to your comments in a second. But Connor brought up earlier that Dallas is his pick in the West. The reason why it's a good pick for the Stars out West is that they're such a complete team. They have great goaltending. If they end up adding Chris Tanev, it's a pretty good bottom 6 there with Miro Heiskanen in the back end. And their top 12 is top to bottom pretty physical and pretty good, right? Pavelski is a playoff performer. Robertson's young. Roope Hintz is pretty sneaky. The list goes on, right? I can go in further into detail about their lineup there, but in terms of a complete team, I'm taking Dallas over Toronto 9 times out of 10, maybe 10 out of 10. So your problem for the Leafs, okay, it's great that you won games without Morgan Riley. How about you do it when it counts? What happens if Riley gets hurt, on game 82 and isn't there for the first 5 games of the playoffs? They won't survive. They won't. They flat out will not survive because the playoffs, as we all know, are different animals. So that's just my daily Leafs rant. So, and it's good timing too because we're about to start the third period. But I'll get to what Connor's saying here. What player would come to Toronto when that percentage of salaries is already gone to these players? Plus the taxes too. John Tavares is fighting the Canadian Revenue Agency right now because the revenue agency thinks that because he signed a $15 million signing bonus in the US, that he owes $8 million of that to the CRA, the Canadian Revenue Agency. So nobody wants to sign in Canada because the taxes frankly suck here, and I don't blame him. Brad Treliving has made such a whole mess of this thing. Yep, I don't blame you. And not to mention that they have John Klingberg, who has been below average. I don't even think he's playing right now. I don't even think he's playing in the lineup right now. It's that bad. Another thing about Dallas is Jamie Benn, and Jamie Benn too, totally agree. He's been more squeaky clean. Remember telling Ryan Chambers Dallas would not win the cup if Ben is captain, but so far he's been staying out of the box. And we clearly saw that in, I think it was game 3 against Vegas. And start the third period here, and there was some scramble in front of the net. Jawing in front. Markstrom and Drew Doughty are going at it a little bit. They're jawing at each other back and forth here. Puck was dumped in, just bounced right in front of the net. What a great save, though, by Markstrom. He had to be on his toes there for that one. And, yeah, and then Doughty, I guess, thought he had a chance to put it in, but they blew the whistle already. So Fiala was ready for that and had a good chance, and Markstrom was right there to answer the bell. So great save there by Jacob Markstrom to keep his team in it here. Still tied at 2 here. Only 30 seconds in here to this third period as Markstrom was clearly up to the task for this one. So good job for him there. As we start the third period, I completely missed that, but I was like, what just happened? As good start here to the third here as both teams are itching for a big win tonight. We'll see how it goes here. Again, appreciate you guys joining us for third period action here. Again, we'll be live tomorrow night for Blue Jackets and Rangers. We got Jimmy from the Rangers and we got Lance from our Blue Jackets pod who will be on and live for you guys to come check out when you get the chance. So appreciate it if you guys get an opportunity to come check us out. Markstrom's 6-2 in his last 8. Love to see it. Puck goes high on Coleman as Talbot's going to snag that out of the air and he'll cover up as we got a whistle here with 18:53 to go. And as RJ is just pointing out here, the Avalanche are taking a beating now on the Dallas Stars here, 5-1 with 4 minutes to go here. The Avalanche showed up in the second period there. That would be a great series to watch. Colorado and Dallas. I think that'd be a phenomenal series to watch in that one. So good on them. While we're going through it here, I thought it'd be kind of fun to see. Again, I can only see the Western standings here, but if you did the 1 versus 8 format, right? If you did the 1v8 format, Nashville won tonight, so let's just pretend they're at 7, right? Vancouver would get LA. That's not pleasant. You don't want to see that. We know. I wonder what happened last time when the Kings were an 8 seed and the Canucks were a 1 seed. So that would be that. The Kings would go play Winnipeg. The Stars would get the Oilers. That would be a great matchup. And the Avalanche would get the Knights. That would be such a good matchup, which brings me back to the point of why they need to go back to the 1v8 format. But that's here nor there. Flames had a good opportunity there. Shots are 25-13 now for Calgary here. Excuse me. As no score here early on too between the Devils and the Sharks in the late window in that one here. As Flames just bad passing, overall here in the third period. Just start here, just haven't had a real good chance here to set up here. Sharon Govich is going to get a good chance. He shoots it completely wide, and that puck's going to go all the way back down the other way for Braden Paschal. I'm curious to see how this Paschal kid does. I know we picked him off waivers from Vegas, so I'm hoping to see that he does better here. And I'm so happy to see Jacob Pelletier back, man. He's so good to have back. Excuse me. All right. So now the question here in the third is who's going to make the first mistake, right? And in the first 30 seconds, they just dumped the puck in, took a ricochet off, goes right in front of Markstrom. The Kings had a great opportunity to score. So I wouldn't really call that a mistake per se. But a lot of the times in tie games, it is going to come down to who makes the first crucial mistake, right? That's going to lead to a really good scoring opportunity, right? And we saw that early on there, 30 seconds in. They're showing clips of Byfield here. Yeah, I'm curious to see, or who's just going to set up better in the offensive zone and who's going to provide more quality opportunities here. And, just see what you can throw on net, right? Both goaltenders are playing really well, though, so it's going to be tough to get by him tonight. Also, my prediction's holding up pretty good, by the way. 2-2. Still in line for that, by the way, is Connor. He had 4-3 earlier on, and Andrew, who had 5-3 early on. I had 3-2 for Calgary in a shootout. Feels like that's going to be more true tonight. We'll see how it goes. They were showing highlights of Quentin Byfield early on. Again, I had the privilege of watching Quentin Byfield live in his junior days up when he played for the Sudbury Wolves, and my God, that kid is fast. Um, he's such a fast kid. He moves the puck really well. He's got really good hands when he's at a top speed. Like it reminds you a little bit of McDavid, but they a lot of the times what they've been doing is they've just been feeding him the puck and he just takes off with it. So it's nice. I'm just really personally like I'm happy to see the Byfield is starting to turn things around and he's having a good start to the year. A good his second full year, or no, he was drafted a couple years ago. He's been given a really good opportunity to bounce back, and he's playing well at his full potential. And I'm glad to see that he's playing well. So as Flames get a chance here to set up again, trying to throw it on net here. It's Backlund out there with Mangiapane and Coleman here. They're really getting that line going tonight, so it's nice to see. His shot on net is going to be stopped by Cam Talbot. Hanifin just seems to be all over this tonight again, too. He seems like he's been all over the ice. As, again, Markstrom it's twice tonight I've seen just him give up some pretty bad rebounds. Markstrom in his last 8 starts, he's 6-2 with a 2.14 goals against average and a .932 save percentage. He's got 1 shutout. And in his last 28 games, he's been 18-9-1. So it's a pretty good record. And, you want him in there for a reason, right? He's number 1 goaltender for a reason. Yeah, it's good stats to have, right? And I mean, hey, it's nice to dangle out in front of the Devils and say, hey, give us your best offer if you really want him. And, I think that conversation's kind of died down a little bit. But hey, maybe they become desperate in the next 11 days and maybe they make a move for him. I'm just curious to see how that kind of turns out as, and even like Tanev and Hanifin, I imagine because the Flames will have a 4-day break coming up that depending on the result tonight, they might start selling some assets this week and it wouldn't surprise me. Or they can do it on deadline day when we go live for 5 hours. I'm not going to be on for the whole 5 hours. We'll explain closer. That's okay. As Cam Talbot covers that up here, shots are 27-15 with 14:35 to go here in the third. And I know Anderson's name came up a lot too in recent trade talk. No way you give up Anderson. There's just no way you give up Rasmus Anderson. You shouldn't give up Rasmus Anderson. He's got 2 to 3 years on his deal, and it looks like Markstrom's something in his pad. He's just getting something done on his pad, so they're going to take a little bit of a break for a second because he's just got some equipment issues. So we'll give him a chance, and we'll actually, they're going to go to TV break here. Not that I have to go to the bathroom or anything. I'm going to hold it. We're going to be good. I think. I think we're going to be okay. Oh my goodness. As I think he's just getting tape wrapped around his skate. That's all. There we go. As they're showing more highlights of Quentin Byfield. Yay. There we go. Right. Catching up on some. Oh my gosh, my phone blowed up there for a second. I haven't looked at it in a long time. Oh my god. Which is a good thing. I feel like we're getting at that point in the night where I'm just starting to make things up as I go. Oh my goodness. Okay, Markstrom, let's go here. What are we doing? He had to put tape on his skate, and now he's got to do everything up again. And let's hurry this up here. Okay, here we go. Markstrom back in here. 14 minutes to go. God, it'd be nice if they go to overtime, though. I always love I love a good 3-on-3, but when it's with your team, it's the most stressful thing in the world. So it sucks. Never seen that before. If he's that bothered about his loose skates, perhaps maybe he could just, I don't know, tie his laces. That's what I was literally thinking. He was wrapping it around the top of his laces. And I'm like, well, dude, retie them. It's not a big deal, man. Unless it was something I saw him do it above his laces. So maybe it was something there. But I know. It's dude, just retie them. Come on. Oh my god. So yeah, it is after 11. Um, Game probably won't be done until 11:30. Probably won't be in bed by midnight, which is totally okay on Tuesday night. I am north of Toronto, so yeah, get to deal with all that madness. Had a pretty bad. Also, for Connor, I don't know about you guys. From the last time I visited Vancouver, um, it's we got no snow here. It's gone. It's absolutely gone. So yeah, I'm happy about it, and I'm happy that winter's almost over. Sooner I get to golf. So, how many hours of work do you have the week? Listen, during the season, it's all over the place, right? Try to do as much as I can during the week. I'm not going to say how many hours I do a week on here. Okay, it's my job, right? Um, but whatever. If they need me during weekends, then I do it during weekends, right? We're pretty busy during the season, and when playoffs come around, it's going to be hyped up. So that's just what it is. And yeah, it's late. Listen, this was my own fault. Like I decided about at 6 o'clock tonight that I'm like, you know what? I'm not doing anything tonight. Let's do it. I kind of regretted it around 10, but it's fine. We're all good. Actually, not in Sudbury anymore. Moved down a little bit south, a couple hours south. But yeah, I was up in Sudbury for schooling for a couple of years. So this is where it got me, and I could not be happier about it. Um, but that's where I got a chance to, as I just flicked a little bit of water on the computer. That's always nice. Um, that's where I got a little bit of an opportunity to watch. One sec, gotta grab some Kleenex. Don't want. Listen, this laptop's like kind of new. There we go. And I'm trying to keep it clean. But yeah, so I was up in Sudbury for a couple of years, and I had a chance to watch Quentin Byfield for whatever times that I can. And yeah, it was great to see him in action, and it was nice to see Luukkonen too, the goaltender for Buffalo. It was nice to see him play, and God, that guy is tall. Kings are getting a really good chance here as they're starting to set up here and gain some momentum as the Flames cannot get off the ice here with 11 minutes to go. Shots gonna be on, rebound in front, great save by Markstrom, scramble in front, they can't find it. Still can't find it. Net moves. They finally get it out here. Still have it though. England, Drew Doughty. That shot's gonna be blocked by Blake Coleman, and that puck finally gets out. Great defensive performance there by that D unit as they were out there for a long time, and they finally get off for a change. Holy smokes! We had a risk of snow, but it was too wet, so thankfully I can drive still. Well, that's good. We've got no snow. But the way the weather works, we can honestly get a snowstorm in like mid-March. So we'll see how it goes. You should not work so hard. You need to have a good work-life balance. Otherwise, you'll be burned out come playoff time. No, I still balance it really well. I kind of knew that today I wanted to do this. So balance it out a little bit. And this, when that Drew Doughty goes crashing into the net. And it looks like the Flames are, or is it the Kings going on the penalty here? Is there a penalty? They're just showing here. Yeah, the ref's arm was up. I don't know what it was, but the ref's arm was up. So we do have a penalty coming up, but I can't figure out who it was. We're gonna find out. Um, but no, I balance it pretty well. Not too worried about it. And also too, I enjoy what I do. So it's all good. But I appreciate your concern. So Canucks currently up 2-1 there on the Penguins. Connor, haven't heard you since they made it a 1-goal game there. Let's check out who the scorers are so far in that one. As who do we have here? Hoglander from Pedersen and Myers, and Besser from Miller and Horneck. Yeah, I think that's how you pronounce it. Ricard Raquel from Crosby, making that a 1-goal game. Ooh. What else we got here? Avalanche up 5-1 at the end of 2. So good to see from the Avalanche there as they're looking to get a little bit closer to the top spot in the Central there. So there is a penalty coming up. I'm going to look here. And it is going to come here to the LA Kings. The Kings are going to go to the penalty box here, and the Flames are going to get an opportunity here to go on the power play. They're 0 for 2 so far tonight, and they're going to get a chance here halfway through this third period to try to go up one. Sharks currently lead 1-0 over the Devils here in the first period in that one. Do lots of people recognize you off YouTube? Not really. I'm not really on social media. So I kind of got off of that after after school a little bit. It just kind of took over a little bit, and I'd rather just kind of enjoy life a little bit. But this is different because it's work. So I get all the social media from doing all the accounts and stuff. So not really, but I appreciate it. Maybe I will be. Who knows? But thank you. I try. I really do. As long as you guys are just enjoying what we're doing, man, that's all we care about. So I appreciate it though. So I don't know what the penalty was here. Again, Flames are 0 for 2 here on the power play today. Blake Coleman got hooked, or I'm gonna check real quick again, see if it updated. It was Laferriere who's gonna go off for holding. Okay, so Laferriere goes off for holding, and the Flames are going to get a chance here with 10 minutes to go, and they get their top power play unit out there to see if they can try and find an answer here as they're getting it all set up here as Weegar's going to get a chance. Shot stopped by Cam Talbot. Kadri goes in the corner, and this puck's going to get out as Jordan Spence is going to get it all the way down the ice as they try to regroup in this one. Again, 10 minutes to go here, and I appreciate you guys still joining me here. I know if it's the East Coast, it's 11:30 on my end, but I still appreciate you guys on for this one. As Weegar just can't reach far enough, and that one's going to go out with another puck that goes down the ice as they regroup yet again here. The top power play unit still out there with 1:10 to go. If I ever see you, I'm definitely asking for an autograph. You don't want to see my handwriting. It's so bad. It's pathetic. Oh man. But hey, if that ever happens, I'll probably keep it. I'll probably take whatever it is you're giving me and I'll keep it in frame and say, hey, somebody asked me for it. So I appreciate it. There you go. 44 seconds here on the power play. Puck goes down the ice again as the Kings are doing fantastic again on the penalty kill here. 9:24 to go here. And the Flames try to get their second unit out to see if they can get a spark going here. As penalty kill just playing, they're doing really well tonight on the penalty kill for the Kings, despite being on a back-to-back. They had the Oilers the night before, and you have to give them a lot of credit for doing well tonight on the penalty kill. As again the puck goes down the ice, they cannot get anything going here on the power play here. As 10 seconds to go here, and it looks like they'll be 0 for 3 tonight. As Backlund's trying to get that in, and that puck goes all the way down the ice again for the fourth time again on this power play as time expires. 8:46 to go here. Tie game 2-2. Flames with 30 shots on goal. The Kings 21 here. Puck goes back in here as the fourth line out here for the Flames. Peltier out there with Dewar and Martin Pospisil, it appears. Dewar with it, trying to find, it looks like Peltier. Puck goes right back in the corner. Excuse me, it's Kevin Rooney and not Pospisil. As Shillington's going to get a shot on goal. Cam Talbot can't get that. Puck goes back in the corner. Still pressure here by this fourth line here, playing very well here. It's a battle of the bottom four here. Looks on the fourth lines here. Looks like for both teams that the Kings try to get it out, and they do. They find it to Quentin Byfield, and Byfield just finds a way to dump it down the ice here with 8 minutes to go. I don't know. I want your guys' opinion because I've said it before all year. And just years, it's a random goal. It's going to be Igor Sharangovich. He just sneaks it by. Cam Talbot. It's Igor Sharangovich. Punt just found it by him. He was streaking down, and he just had I think it was tipped by Jordan Spence. He had a man in front of him. It was tipped off his leg to the right in a bad spot for Cam Talbot, and it's Igor Sharangovich. And just like that, after a brutal power play for the Flames, they find themselves up 1 as Sharangovich continues his fantastic season. And the Flames now lead 3-2 with 49 to go in this one. And it is what is a very important game here for the Flames as the Kings try and find their way back into this one here. All pressure again here for the Kings. Right in the offensive zone, tipped in front, it's going to go wide. Kings still have it. Battle in the corner, trying to find a way to get it out. Still a battle here. Almost 7 minutes to go here on a random goal by Igor Sharangovich. And Flames get it out. Coleman finds his partner Backlund. Backlund shot goes wide. Again, a really important game here for the Flames. If you're a Flames fan watching here, need the 2 points, especially with the Predators winning tonight, to try to keep pace in this wild card race. Both the Wild and Blues lost earlier. It just means that much more as Huberdeau shot goes wide. Kings will break back the other way here, 3-on-2. Losing the puck though. Flames trying to find a way out, and they can't as Matt Roy keeps it in. Flames will get a chance here to break out. It's going to be Connor Zary. Zary making his way up, and fell on his knees. No tripping call. He fell by himself. Huberdeau puts it in front, and Calgary right there, but Cam Talbot will cover it up with 6:34 to go. It's Igor Sharangovich. Just over 5 to play, and the Flames lead it 3-2. I did want to quickly ask before I got interrupted by a goal here. What is everybody's thoughts on Pierre-Luc Dubois and his contract? And just like the fact that I think he's the most overrated player in the NHL. I hate him with my whole heart. I like the Kings. Don't get me wrong. It's a great team. I don't like him. Okay. To me, when I look back at his track record, what has he done to deserve the contract that he got? I don't know. I don't get it personally. Love to hear your guys' thoughts. RJ saying MetLife Stadium will play host to the 2026 World Cup while that is 2 years out in preparation for the event. Announced that it has started to work on a project to renovate the lower. Ooh, very nice. And I heard that the turf isn't that great either for when they play football. However, when they did host the Winter Classic there, great place to do it. You know, they had 70,000 butts in seats for those 2 games. And it was just great to see, right? So I'm very happy that that went well, and I'm excited for when they go to Ohio State Stadium for Columbus, and I think Detroit is going to be in that next not a Winter Classic, but a Stadium Series. So that should be good too. All righty here. Well, I didn't expect that. It was kind of a slow third period. Nothing was really happening other than that first 30 seconds where, puck randomly bounced in front of Markstrom. And all of a sudden, it wasn't really Cam Talbot's fault. It just, Sharangovich brings it in. He had Jordan Spence in front of him. He took a bit of a wrister, a bit of a snapper. It goes off of Spence's leg and just redirects top right corner. And there wasn't really much to do for Cam Talbot. It was just unfortunate for that to happen. And, Markstrom has played really well here in the third period, and he's kept this team in it as the Flames are about 6 minutes away from what could be a really important win and to keep their playoff hopes alive, essentially, because if you lose tonight, you're going to be 8 points out of a playoff spot, and that's something that's not an easy hill to climb back from, as they got second line out there with Pospisil, Zary, and Nazem Kadri out there. And Kings break it out here. 6 minutes to go in this one. Shots are 35-21 for the Flames. Flames have really picked it up here in the back half of this game in terms of shots. I've been finding recently they've always provided a lot of shots on goal now, and in the last little bit they've had like 30, 40, but doesn't produce any goals. But clearly it has tonight. As it's at this point where, for me, like, the Kings are just going to take over. As no penalty called, as I don't know who fell over for the Kings. It looked like he was pushed down, didn't have the puck. No penalty clearly called on that one. Zary in there with Pospisil. Zary keeps it. Backlund, he's going to find Pospisil. No man in front. Backlund tries to keep it in. Shot on goal, and Cam Talbot covers it up with 5:35 to go. No. No. My entire family is a Leaf fan. So when they played Calgary twice this year, I think the Leafs won both games this year. I got about 20 text messages because I got a big family, right? My mom has three other siblings. My dad has three other siblings. They all have cousins. I have a sister, whatever. It's a big family, right? And everybody's a Leaf fan. So I hear it every year. You are too nice to not become a Leaf fan. No, never going to happen. Never have and never will. Here we go. Puck dropped again here. Just over 5 minutes to go. Still in the neutral zone, trying to bring it in. It's going to be Mangiapane. He is shot. It's going to be deflected wide. Backlund dumps it in. Mangiapane brings it all the way around the boards, right up to Cristana. Back to around to Mangiapane. He can't find it. Noah Hannafin. The Mangiapane tipped in front. It's going to go wide. Now I'm just like, it's hard to commentate and do this at the same time because it's like when you're a fan of the team, you're just like, I want to watch at the same time here. Oh my God, as the Kings are going to get a chance here. Trying to set up now. Turcotte. Trying to go back to the point to Jordan Spence. Spence brings it right back into Turcotte. Battle behind the boards here. They have Byfield out there. Puck just gets out here, and the Kings have to regroup here with 4:24 to go. We go one man down, and Tyler Myers makes it a 5-on-3. Gotta love Myers. He is anything. I mean, yeah, he's a doorknob. It's a good way to put it. As Kings again set up here, 4 minutes to go here. A lot of pressure on Jacob Markstrom. Puck will find its way out and down the ice, tip down. Great tip, and he's going to go in. It's going to be Walker Duehr, who's going to go right in and pin it on the boards. It is a fight along the boards here at the end. Puck goes all the way down, tipped, and there's going to be no icing on this one. Mangiapane has to go back for that. Excuse me, Shillington goes back for that one. Playing with Braden Paschal. Flames go back down the other way here, trying to keep the puck down there. And keep fresh legs out there, too. And Penguins tie it. Oh, boy. As long as that idiot remains a Canuck, we are making it past the first round. Don't keep Myers out there for long. We'll see what happens. Playoffs are a different animal, right? And it looks like it's going to be high sticking. And the Kings are going to go on the power play here. It's going to be Braden Paschal who's going to go in the box. And a late high stick here. Yeah, that's going to be high sticking all day long on Trevor Moore. And the Kings, with 3 minutes to go, are going to get a chance on the power play to try and tie this game. Great. Of course, this game has to go like this. Braden Paschal goes to the box for high sticking. There is no blood. It is a 2-minute penalty. The Kings will have the chance here with 3:24. I don't think they pull the goalie yet. I imagine for the last 3 minutes and 24 seconds, they're going to have a man advantage because they'll have to kill the penalty, number one. And number two, if they do kill the penalty, Cam Talbot's probably going to go off, or he might even go off in the back half of the penalty. Who knows? We'll see what happens, though. Exciting ending here as Paschal will go off for high sticking. Kings will get a chance here with 3:24 to go here in the third period. As long as you don't have Tyler Myers, you're fine. What's his contract like? He's I'm going to go quickly look as we're in commercial break here. I'm going to go quickly look at it because my curiosity is piqued and my bladder is starting to overload. I can't wait to go to the bathroom after this. What do we got here? Myers. Where is he? That's a forward group. Where is he? Well, at least his deal is done next year. Dude, you're paying him $6 million. Holy smokes. $6 million for the next 2 years. Whew. Oh, wait. No, sorry. That's the end. Sorry. No. That's my mistake. His contract ends this year at $6 million. Jesus. Okay. My apologies. His contract. Okay, thank you. Yeah, I read that wrong, but his contract ends end of next season. Well, it said that Zadorov. Go look on Cap Friendly because I know Zadorov's contract ends this year. So anyway, as much as I would like to talk about Tyler Myers, my team's in a bit of a pickle right now. So let's take a look at that. As Paschal's trying to make his case, more than likely never works out. As another update here is the Canucks lead now 3-2 over the Penguins. All right, Kopitar, Byfield, Fiala out there with Drew Doughty, and it looks like Pierre-Luc Dubois here. 0 for 2 tonight for the Kings as they look to try and tie this game here. 1:55 left on the power play, 3 minutes left in the game. It's going to be a chance in front. Byfield's going to miss the net completely, and Tanev is going to rip that all the way down, and the puck is deflected, and it goes out of play. Puck to be played in the Flames zone with 3:09 to go, only 15 seconds gone from the power play as Byfield it was tipped in front by, I think it was Kopitar. It was off the glove of Markstrom as Byfield. Oh, it was off the glove of Jacob Markstrom as close chance there as Tanev and Hanifin both out there for the Flames. Great, because we won't have them soon. Doughty is going to get a chance to shoot in front. Dubois goes wide, goes back to Doughty. Kings getting some really good looks here as Backlund's going to get a chance to get this puck out, and he will send it all the way down the ice. Kings will regroup here with 2:47 to go. 1:22 on the power play here. Kings are going to regroup. Pierre-Luc Dubois, Drew Doughty to Quentin Byfield. I've been terrible with names all night tonight. Mackenzie Weegar. The ref gets in the way here. Coleman trying to bat it out, and he will. Ref deflected it in front. Almost gave the Kings a really good chance. Puck gets out. Doughty, though, goes right back into the corner, gives the Kings a chance to set up here. Flames are going to get a chance to get it down, and they do. Kings are going to try and quickly regroup, and now there's an empty net. Now they have an empty net. Flames can try and score here if they get possession. They'll get a chance here. That goes high, right down the ice, and the puck's going to go wide. It will not go into the net. 2 minutes to go here. Empty net. It's a 6-on-4 for the LA Kings here. 2 minutes to go. 35 seconds left on the power play. Kings get back into the offensive zone. Flames tie him up on the boards, and that puck gets out and goes back. Kings get right back into the offensive zone, though. Again, 6-on-4, trying to tie this game up here. 20 seconds left on the power play. Paschal looks like he's going to go right back into the play if this power play expires. Kings behind the net here. It's going to go across to Lizotte. Lizotte currently with it. Finds Jordan Spence. Spence with it. He finds it across. Kopitar is going to blast one. Locked in front, trying to find a way to get it out. Backlund's trying to tip it out. He can't. He will not. Rooney trying to get it out. Paschal out of the box now. 6-on-5 with an empty net. Shot goes up. Trying to get it down. They will. Comes to the empty net. And he scores. Batted it all the way down the ice. It's Mikael Backlund. Let's go. It's Mikael Backlund who just swatted it down the ice, and it just so happened that it was a straight line right at the net. He just swatted it down there, and it works as Mikael Backlund fires that one home, and there you have it. Flames lead 4-2, and the Kings, again, for the second night in a row, go into a third period, tied at 2, and all of a sudden they blow it again, and boom, 4-2. Another 4-2 game here as the Kings are down, and the Flames are going to, if they hold on here for the next minute, it looks like they're going to hold on for a very, very crucial 2 points, especially going into March. They needed this win. They got it, and they keep themselves in the conversation here, at least for a little bit longer, for a playoff race. Look, I'm trying not to wake people up. Okay, I'm respecting people's sleep because I respect my own sleep. And if there's nobody with roommates in this household, I would be more vocal. Or if it was during the day and not at 11:30 at night. It's just how the way it goes, okay? But there you go. So, well, that should do it here with 47 seconds as Tanev and Hanifin, they were showing them again. They really held it down there on that penalty kill and gave the Flames a really good chance to really close out this game here. And they did well on that penalty kill. So good for them. As I apologize if I don't know how to pronounce your name, but go Flames, go, baby. Let's go. As 20 seconds to go here in this one, as the Flames scramble in front here, Kings trying to get any sort of chance. It's going to be covered up again by Jacob Markstrom. The Flames are going to be on their way to a very important 2 points. So the Flames, with the win tonight, they leapfrog the Wild, they leapfrog the Blues, they find themselves at 63 points, and they keep pace with the Predators. Predators now at 68 points. The Kings stay at 68 points. The Flames, 5 points back now of both teams. Reminder that they play the Kings 2 more times this year, and the Predators, they got a win against the Senators tonight, and I believe they have a tough schedule coming up. So 5 points is certainly not something to sneeze at. Still in firing distance as the Flames will pick up a very important 2 points tonight. 10 seconds to go here in this one. Markstrom holds it. I thought the puck went in, but it didn't. Markstrom's just been sensational again tonight. 9 seconds to go here. Before we wrap up, guys, just letting you guys know that tomorrow we do have another live stream going on. Blue Jackets and Rangers. It'll be Lance and Jimmy on the call for that one. We'll have that for you at 7 o'clock tomorrow night. I just think it's hilarious. Can't wait for golf to come out, baby. I can't wait. Can't wait. Now that you mentioned it, that's all. And we still wait even know, right? That's right. 2 seconds to go here, and that's going to do it. Flames pick up a very important win. Let's go. Okay, I'm cutting it off. Sorry. There we have it. Flames get a big 4-2 win tonight over the LA Kings and keep their slim playoff hopes alive as we go into a very important break here to determine what happens closer to trade deadline. We'll see how it all goes. But overall, it was a great game tonight, and I'm glad I did it. And I appreciate you guys checking us out. Leave a like if you can. Make sure you're subscribed. Make sure you just check out for our next live watch along, which is going to be, again, tomorrow night. And you'll be sure I'm going to be doing more of these as the playoff race continues. So that's going to be it for me tonight. I appreciate you guys so much, and thank you for staying up with me this late as the Flames, they win at 4-2 over the LA Kings. And again, thanks for jumping on with me tonight, guys, and I appreciate you, Connor. Appreciate everybody in the comments section. I was kind of right with the predictions. 3-2. Wasn't overtime or a shootout, but I'll take what I can get. Again, thanks, guys, for joining us, and I'll be sure to see you guys very soon. So have a good night and enjoy the rest of the week. See you guys.
Say something.